Now there's a car insurer you'll really love. LV. You'll love our UK call centre. You'll love our no claims discount that could reach up to 75%. And you'll love that you could save yourself a few quid too. Isn't it time you got a little bit more LV in your life? Call now on 0800 127 127. Or simply visit lv.com and you could start saving on your car insurance now.
I live life to the full. I love action. In life, on the job, I'll never allow myself to look tired. So I take care of myself and of my skin.
Hydra Energetic from L'Oreal Men Expert. It fights the 5 signs of fatigue for a lasting, healthy look. L'Oreal Men Expert.
The future of your skin is in your hands. You're worth it.
Clever, those Cheerios. Your family loves every last tasty little O. And you know they're getting the good stuff from 4 whole grains. Cheerios. Smiles all round.
The new scent of adventure. Dunhill Pursuit.
Hello and welcome to the Champ Car Season Review. Over the next 4 hours you can relive all the best moments of this fantastic 2007 season. 16 races were scheduled, but only 14 of them would actually happen. And the big question before round 1 in Las Vegas was, will Sébastien Bourdais be able to clinch a 4th consecutive crown? And our first port of call, the highlights from the first 2 rounds of the season, Las Vegas and Long Beach, with the original American commentary.
There is the green flag, the race is underway, and a great start by the local hero Paul Tracy, who looks behind, somebody clipped the wall there.
It looks like it might be Graham Rahal as Paul Tracy leads into the first corner, 3 cars wide.
Bruno Joubert to the inside, then for Delcourt Racing, a brilliant start for Bruno.
Up to 3rd place, Bruno is, as we try and look back, it is in fact Graham Rahal. He did make contact with the wall, as you can see there, the right front is damaged. His race is most definitely done as he takes off the wheel there. That might bring out a full course caution. I think it indeed has brought out a full course caution. Very unfortunate for his debut performance.
Oh boy, that's the second time Graham's hit the wall this weekend. He had a big crash yesterday morning. I was confusing his crash with yours, I'm afraid. You crashed in qualifying for the Atlantic race, but he crashed in practice yesterday morning, did Graham, and hit the wall pretty heavy, damaged the undertrail on that car. He switched to the backup car for final qualifying yesterday, the Newman Haas Lanigan racing team. They hadn't even run that. This car had never turned a wheel before Graham went out for qualifying yesterday afternoon, so he struggled a little bit, started back on row 5 of the grid, and that was a good news because now he's even farther back. And there's Matt Halliday problems as well, James. This is again a replay of Graham Rahal hitting the wall there just right away after the green flag. Here's on board with Graham.
Let's try and take a look. He just, look at that. I think on his inside you saw that there's another car going by, and that might have been side-by-side contact with Dan Clark that pushed him into the wall.
There again is a look at the number 1 McDonald's car, Newman Haas Lanigan Racing now it is, of Sébastien Bourdais. Just an amazing career he has had in the champ cars as Sébastien, and the winning percentage is absolutely amazing. 39% winning percentage for Sébastien Bourdais, 23 wins, and now he's in his 60th start, and there's a big challenge. Will Power really putting PT under pressure. Can he get him into turn 1?
Absolutely he does. He sticks it. Absolutely booked. That was a fantastic move. Paul was being very defensive, a little bit more than Will would have liked to have seen. Champ Car, of course, having the no blocking rule. Paul takes a look, not quite getting it done, but our pole sitter Will Power back in the lead, and not just our pole sitter, he was our pole sitter by some 9/10 of a second in Q2.
Oh no, Justin Wilson, the CDW car, the R Sports car. He's in the wall. Another mistake, apparently, this time from Justin Wilson. Seen a lot of mistakes this afternoon, it would appear.
Well, yeah, I mean, we cannot really tell if it was his mistake yet, but you know, it's a very slicky truck, and you know, the moment you step out of line, you know, it's very easy to get to the wall. We saw Friday on the first session how slick was. Gearbox.
My apologies.
Yeah, he lost the gearbox. It's a problem. It's a new car, a new first race of the season. You know, we're going to see a little bit of this. It's just the nature of the game. You know, there's these machines are very well prepared, but they're still racing machines. Everything it's, you know, brought to the limit, and sometimes when you're in the limit, things break.
Indeed, I've been heard a word in my earphones there to say that he was in the wall. My apologies out to Justin Wilson. He wasn't in the wall, he was just pulling off the racetrack. And there again, here now is Sebastian Bourdais making a move down to turn one. Can he squeeze his way past Neil Jani? Yes, indeed he can. So another place made up there by Sebastian Bourdais, now up into the top 5.
Yeah, Sebastian's flying. I mean, the race is going to be between Power and Sebastian's. You know, Sebastian also with all these yellows, it's going well for him, because every time, you know, there's a yellow, you know, there's less land to catch up to the front. So it's definitely working for him, and he is as fast as I would say as Power. So I'm sure towards the end of the race we're gonna see a very good fight between those two, and obviously Tracy is going to be in the middle just to spice it up a little bit.
If you look at the fastest laps that each of the drivers has set so far in the first 21 laps of this race, it's very, very close indeed. Actually, now the quickest lap has been set by Alex Tagliani, the car number 8, the R Sports car, the LXN2 car. He's done a 22.19. Sebastian Bourdais has done an almost, 22.01 for Tagliani, 22.1 for Bourdais. 1 minute 22.1 also for Paul Tracy, 1 minute 22.2 for Will Power, so incredibly close there at the front.
Yeah. It's, I mean, I'm really surprised how fast they are going already. I mean, you know, usually at this stage you still try to save fuel, but obviously, like Sebastian, you know, just had to go for it, and it's passing a lot of cars, and at the front they all have also a similar amount of push to pass. So again, it's going to be very, very exciting at the end.
There is Bruno Junqueira now coming under pressure from Sebastian Bourdais. It's going to be an interesting fight. These two, of course, were teammates last year, and there's no contest. Bourdais down to the inside, makes that pass for now 3rd place. And there also is Robert Dornbosch making that move. So Bruno Junqueira goes from 3rd to 5th in just a couple of corners. And I wonder whether Bruno is perhaps struggling on these roadside wall tyres. We've heard a lot about it this morning, that are really not lasting very long at all. They're quick for a few laps, Royal, but then falling off the pace quite quickly.
Yeah, especially today with, I mean, the hot temperatures that we have out there. It's new asphalt, and when it's that hot, it becomes greasy. And, you know, maybe with the... Oh, there's something going on Sebastian's car.
Yes.
I think he's having problems. I think Sebastian's maybe out. Yes, he's letting Bruno go by. There's definitely he's having some problems here.
Something is amiss clearly with that McDonald's car number 1 of Sebastian Bourdais. It's all gone wrong for him. It went wrong for him yesterday. He made a mistake and hit the wall actually in that car part of the racetrack, and now it would appear again some sort of a mechanical problem. He's slowing down. They told him from the pit lane. Craig Hampson, the engineers, told him to recycle the ECU, but whoa, what's that, a big long that's flat right front, has he as well?
Yeah, definitely has the right front flat. I was looking at it and I couldn't really tell, but yeah, definitely he has the right front flat.
So whether he's hit the wall again, we saw he had a puncture in the early stages of the race. Now he's got to be very careful to limp this car around and not do any more damage, Oriel.
Exactly. In these situations, you want to go back to the pits as fast, obviously, as you can. But you know, it's better just to make sure you get to the pits first, because it's very difficult to drive the car like that. And still, if he makes it in time and doesn't lose a lap, you know, he can still do a pit stop and the race still long. You know, he could still be in the race. If the flat tire is his only problem, you know, we could still have some Sebastian still in it. Indeed so, but the bad news, of course, that he had that puncture really going into turn one. He's got a whole lap of this 2.44 mile racetrack. There's only a couple of tracks longer that we go to all season long. Road America and then also Mexico City and Surfers Paradise just slightly longer. So it's a relatively long racetrack and a long way to let that car around on effectively 3 wheels. I know. I mean, it couldn't happen to him at a worse place. Bad luck, you know, flat tire at the start, now again. Well, it's going to make it exciting for us. Whether he hit the wall or not to cause that flat tire, we do not know. There is another pass for position. That would be Alex Tagliani there, finding a way past Ryan Dalziel. So Tagliani, he's been flying lately, but so is Will Power, our race leader, a new fastest lap of the race, 121.9. Marty Snyder is standing by in pit lane with the Newman Haas landing in team.
It took a long time for Sebastian Bourdais to get over here. They want to look at the rear tire as well. As you said, Wally, this is now 3 cut tires on this car. We want to make sure that there is indeed concrete that we might have seen on the right front. Trying to get it back in gear, trying to get off pit road, finally does that. We're going to check out this right front tire. But it's amazing, 3 tires on this car so far today.
Oh, talking about Sebastian Bourdais. I was just going to say, he's done. Now definitely he's done. I was just going to say he had just done the fastest lap of the race. He did 21.6, which is really fast, and maybe too fast. Maybe too fast indeed. It was a 21.6, and that's just been eclipsed as well. A couple of guys gone quicker. Neil Jarney, Paul Tracy, and Robert Dorbos, all about 21.3, 21.4. But look at that, the left front wheel ripped off that number 1 car. Marty Snyder.
And you guys hear the conversation, Bill, with Sebastian Bourdais. They want him to park it. They have to use this car at Long Beach if they can. They do have a backup car. They were planning to try and test these cars at Phoenix, but obviously that may be out the window now. The reason we wanted to talk about this also was because the toe-in was knocked in on the car. So the toe link was knocked in on the car. They knew it was going to be a matter of time before they had another tire problem. They just didn't think they would run into the wall like they did last time.
Wow, thanks Marty Snyder. So that's the news down from the pit lane, and a problem has been...
So one for safety there, I'm assuming you're at about 11A or B past the chicane.
I think that was Craig Hampson, wasn't it, on the radio there too?
Yeah, I believe so.
Sebastian. It's just before the chicane, just between turn and 10 and 11, and I don't know, they may well have to send out the safety team to get that car out of the way. There's only a few safe havens, they call them, on this racetrack, when they can get the cars out of the way without having to go full course caution. But certainly an apparent mistake there from Sebastian Bourdais, and it's now Alex Tagliani under increasing pressure from Simon Pagenaud. Tristan Gomondi in 3rd place, and Catherine Legg. This is the battle for 3rd and 4th. Gomondi, and here is Catherine, and she is doing a stellar job again, isn't she? There is our race leader. It's Will Power. He's now, when we get to the, probably be, you might get the 1 lap to go signal this time around, but it's certainly been a textbook drive by this young man. He hasn't really made any mistakes all weekend long. He has only had a couple of mechanical issues, but now he's just got to be careful. What's going through his mind right now? He's been in the series just over 1 year, not nearly as many races it took you to get your first win. But what's going through your mind right now with 1 lap to go and you're staring at your first win?
Lots of things are going through your mind, and you're just trying to keep one in it, and it's just next corner. All you want to think is about the next corner, making sure you don't make any mistake, making sure you're following all your braking references. You just want to make it 1 more lap. You don't want anything special, just 1 more lap, and that's for sure that's what's going through his head right now.
Yeah, don't look behind, I think he was told there on the radio. That is Bruno Junqueira right behind him. In fact, the car number 19 is a lap down. In 7th place is Bruno. He's had his problems this afternoon as well, but he was certainly running fast for a while. But it's Will Power. He's set the fastest lap of the race this afternoon. He's the only man to lap below 1 minute 20 seconds in the race this afternoon. He was the only man in the 17s in qualifying yesterday, the 2nd pole of his career. And now just a few more corners to go. It's been an absolutely superb performance by this very likeable young man, and it's just amazing how he's grown in confidence all the way towards the end of last year. He learned so much from working with Alex Tagliani, and here is the Walker Racing pit. I said earlier on, it's been a long time for Derek Walker. It's his 16th 62nd birthday today. 130 races since he last saw the checkered flag. But here now is Will Power for Team Australia. And there are the double checkered flags. A wonderful performance by Will Power and the entire Team Australia crew. Oriel, what a great day for
I am very, very happy, obviously, for Power, but for Derek Walker. He always has a very good team. He's one of those owners out there that really gives it everything, you know, everything he can, and he deserved this win very, very, very much.
There are all sorts of people in the army. To find out more, text ARMY to 61110 for your free DVD.
Gift vouchers from £145. Drive Alton Park.
What happens when you wash with shower gel? Part of your skin's own precious moisture gets washed away. But Dove Triple Moisturising Body Wash is different because it's loaded with more caring moisturisers than regular shower gels. Everyday moisture is the key to beautiful skin. And who knows moisture better than Dove? Now shower your skin in luxury with our rich moisture from cream and oil in new Dove Supreme Cream Oil Body Washes. Now available at Superdrug and selected Boots stores.
Long Way Down, the DVD. A fantastic follow-up to our incredible trip, The Long Way Round. This time, experience our amazing adventure from John O'Groats to Cape Town. 15,000 miles, spectacular scenery, unforgiving terrain, and extraordinary people. A 2-disc set of the brand new series, including unseen and extended footage. Long Way Down, the DVD, out now.
Bertolli. Enjoy the goodness of the olive tree every day.
The new scent of adventure. Dunhill Pursuit.
Hello and welcome to sunny Southern California for the second of 3 races on consecutive weekends to commence the 2007 Champ Car season. I'm Jeremy Shaw, joined by my colleague James Hinchcliffe, who finished 7th in this morning's Atlantic Championship race. Hot out of the car, James, and as in Las Vegas last week, all sorts of stories to follow, but not much time. This is a track with a tremendous history.
It absolutely does, Jeremy. We're in our 33rd annual Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach. Of course, it started with Formula One cars. The first Champ Car race back in '84, won by Mario Andretti, and it's an illustrious place. It's one of the drivers' favorite events. It's a fantastic track, and as always here at Long Beach, which is usually the opening race, race 2 this year, there's been a lot of drama and a lot of action, and let's take a look at some of the things that have already happened this weekend.
Here's a view on Saturday morning. Paul Tracy loses control of his in-deck car coming out of turn 1. But on the power just a little bit too hard. Nose first very heavily into the wall. The car crashed down again. And Paul Tracy suffered a back injury and will not be able to drive this weekend in Long Beach. We're on board with Graham Rahal, but Newman has racing car down towards turn 1 and much cleaner there. But look, a great start by Alex Tagliani, gets around Simon Pagenaud, the best of the rookie drivers, for 3rd place.
Absolutely on board now with Graham around the fountain, up through the gears, now through corner 4. Graham Rahal started, of course, 5th. You see Sebastian lead the field through turn 5. And it looks like, was it Robert Dornbos maybe made a fantastic start to get up there? I could be mistaken there.
I think you might be right. Robert Dornbos, he really struggled. The whole Minardi Team USA team struggled on Friday. They were nowhere. Saturday morning they weren't much better, but he sat down with his race engineer, Michael Cannon, did Robert Dornbos, and he came back strong in qualifying, set a good top 5 time early on, and then ran out of fuel, so I had to watch for the last 20 minutes of that session. Slipped back to 7th on the grid, but he has made a very good start. and that is also Alex Tagliani there, who went around Simon Pagenaud at the first corner, and that's kind of ironic, isn't it? Last year, of course, Alex was driving for Team Australia, and here James Hinchcliffe, he's splitting the two Team Australia cars, driving now for his former boss, Paul Gentilozzi.
He's doing a fantastic job. I've been really impressed. It's kind of been a rebirth of Alex Tagliani. He struggled a little bit at the Walker team, but since joining Rocket Sports and then the merger between Rocket Sports and Rue Sport to form the R Sports team, a lot of sports in that sentence, but Alex has really been on form, often outperforming so far this year's teammate Justin Wilson, who we're on board with now, and we saw him locking the brakes just a little bit into that first corner as he runs behind Robert Dornbos.
That's right, on board the CDW car of Justin Wilson, the lanky Brit, and he's so disappointed with the way this season has begun. He started with high expectations, and then all sorts of political machinations went on with what used to be the Rue Sport team, as James was saying, now part of the Rocket Sports organisation as well. Paul Gentilozzi is really overseeing the whole thing, and there is Alex Figge, one of the PCM cars onto pit lane for a change of nose cone in the very early stages of this race. And Alex Figge, he's a local guy. He was brought up really in Southern California. The team is the only California-based team just up the road in Oxnard, California. And Alex Figge actually did a very good job, particularly on Friday. He was knocking on the door of the top 10 in qualifying.
Yeah, they're getting better. They're improving. Obviously, a new team and two new drivers to the Champ Car World Series. They are getting a little bit better. And as we look back on the back of Graham Rahal's Medizone number 2, Newman Haas Lanigan Racing, the newly formed team, or new partner in that team for this year.
It's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it? Newman Haas Lanigan Racing, as you say. Michael Lanigan there, the boss of MyJack Cranes, one of the biggest crane companies in the world, in actual fact. And he was partnered with Eric Bachelard at Conquest Racing, now joins two of the biggest names in the sport in this country, Paul Newman and Carl Haas. And then there's the number 2 car there of Graham Rahal, finished second in last year's Atlantic Championship, but it was a very close second, plus he was the guy who won more races than anybody else, got more poles, led more laps, and now he's got himself a prime ride in the Champ Cars, but he's running behind the guy who beat him to the championship one year ago.
I can definitely tell you, after talking to Graham Rahal, I'm very frustrated from Las Vegas.
Who are on board with Oriole, running in third place right now, and Gomondy another very, very quick lap. Marty Snyder with Neil Mickelwright in the Forsyth Championship Racing pit.
And B2, guys, there's no grumpiness down here in the Oriole Servia pits. I tell you what, fantastic job so far. Do you have enough tires, though, to catch the guys in front of you?
Well, I think that the tyres that we have are just as good as anybody in front of us. Obviously, Bourdais is at quite the pace today. Gomendi currently leaving is going to have to be stopping here fairly soon for gas, so we'll see when he stops, and there's nothing holding us up. We'll do the best we can.
How proud are you of Oriole right now?
I'm very proud of Oriole, and very proud of the whole team for recovering. Obviously, devastated by PT having his accident and not being with us. Hope he gets well soon.
All right, currently in third, trying to get back up to the front, maybe past Bourdais.
Yeah, I think you'd be lucky to catch and pass him, because you can see the gap that has built up between the second and third place cars for right now. But both Gomondy and Bourdais just turned their best laps on the race, and that was a new fastest lap by Sebastian Bourdais in second place. And as I was talking before those pit lane interviews, I reckon the PKV team has told Tristan Gomondy that there's no hope of making it to the finish, so just go as fast as you can, learn as much as you can, and we'll take our medicine. And as Craig Hampson rightly said, he'll probably end up in 12th or 13th place, but that misses the point entirely, because as James Hinchcliffe said a little while ago, the whole point of this exercise was take a little bit of a gamble. If there had been another full course caution or two, they could have been looking very, very good indeed. So it was certainly a legitimate call by that team, PKV Racing, not to make the pit stop, but it had the added benefit, and that if Gomondy run out alone in front of this field, and he's taking full advantage, and now he peels off into pit lane. So that was a job done there for Tristan Gomondy in every aspect you could think of at all.
Well, they're gambling on the fuel, hoping for yellows. Now they're only going to take 4 seconds of fuel. Essentially, in a flash though, you can see no tires going on the car. Looks a lot longer than 4 seconds, but he's away.
Will Power there of Team Australia. He won the race 1 week ago in Las Vegas, now running in fourth place. That would certainly be a very good afternoon. Justin Wilson, we're on board with there. He is using the Cosworth power to pass, but so in a defensive mode is Will Power, and he looks at the inside. Down is so much for conservatism. There goes Will Power with a brilliant move down the inside of Alex Tagliani to take over another podium position.
That was fantastic. He got on it, I think, initially in defense because Justin Wilson was very close to him, but he managed to get a good enough run off that final corner to get a run on Alex Tagliani. And look at the gap he's pulled out. Alex going slow. Justin Wilson looking down the inside of turn 6, and he will make that stick, I think, if he can get on the power without too much wheel spin. I think he's done it. The two of them are going to drag into the 8th corner. You cannot really pass there. Behave, Alex. Very well done. Tragic for Alex Tagliani. 2 lost spots on the final lap of the race.
Popped up on the curve there on the inside of turn 8 did Justin Wilson, but he got a good run off the corner, and I think he's going to be able to hold on to that position, and he would love nothing better to get the better of his teammate. But it's all about this man today, isn't it? Sebastian Bourdais has been the class of the field. It looks like Simon Pagenaud will get the fastest lap, but everything else, Sebastian Bourdais across, he takes the checkered flags. Sebastian Bourdais win number 24 in his career, and once again a brilliant performance by the entire Newman House Racing team, and it is yet another victory, the 3rd in a row here in Long Beach for that man Sebastian Bourdais.
And you know what, that was an absolutely storming performance as he's going to do his trademark donuts. Here he goes. It'll be the first time he's done them in the DP01. How can he get them done? Oh, not quite as tight. Okay, he's starting to get there. He's got a bit of work to do, but you know what? I've got a feeling this won't be the last time, I should say, we see Sebastian Bourdais doing donuts in this car.
I think not. He came away from Las Vegas saying we had the worst weekend I can ever remember. He said after Las Vegas when he crashed both in qualifying and the race. It was his worst ever qualifying position in the Champ Car World Series. He started 16th on the grid, and as we said, he didn't go any better in the race. He had a couple of punctures earlier on, and then he crashed out of the race as well. So very few points for Sebastian Bourdais last weekend, but he's put that to rights, and he will vault well up the order in the championship standings. I think it'll still certainly be Will Power who leads the points, leaving today's race and going on to Houston next week. But it's still been a great effort by Sebastian Bourdais, and he's going to treat the crowd down there in turn 7 as well.
What a comeback for you guys. How gratifying is that after the rough week you had last week at Las Vegas?
I guess everything that could happen to us in Vegas happened, and here the Magnus car already showed what it could do, and I can't thank these guys enough because really they worked their tails off. They worked probably until midnight last night and woke up at 4 to get ready, and it's just unbelievable the hours that they put, so it's all to their benefits, really.
Tell me about the hairpin on the last restart, and is that one of the most dominant performances of your career?
I think we definitely put on a great show today, but it's true the last restart was a little, you get a lot of pickup, and once you get to that hairpin before the last restart, it's very slippery, so I really made sure I was going to slow down very much at the apex and get a good jump, and it worked out pretty good.
You took the week to drive here kind of to clear your mind. Your guys, however, worked very hard. I know you're proud of them and the effort they put in this weekend.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's all theirs. They worked so hard, and all winter it's been like that, and that Panos is not easy to put together, but they've done it.
3 straight Long Beach wins for Sebastian Bourdais.
The Pilot Bike Series is back for another season on Motors TV. The riders in the Pilot Bike Series will have to do battle with the elements and the icy racing surface all winter long. You can follow all the action from round 1 at Val Thorens this Wednesday, December the 12th from 7:30.
Oh, I can't think what to give Cinderella for Christmas.
Oh, yes you can.
But I want to give Cinderella something special.
Use eBay, dear.
eBay, but...
Now, just tell eBay all the things that you know Cinderella loves best.
Oh, well, anything yellow, obviously. But really, there's nothing she likes more than 60s retro stuff. Oh, perfect.
Jack, what are you doing?
Oh, nothing.
Sky Broadband is here. most out of Sky with Sky Broadband. Visit sky.com/broadband.
Bertolli. Enjoy the goodness of the olive tree every day.
The new scent of adventure. Dunhill Pursuit.
When Cinderella sees her Christmas present, she's gonna flip!
Oh, did you get her some hair straighteners?
No, I went on eBay and I got it so right.
Jack, love.
I told eBay all the things I know she loves.
Jack!
And Eureka! I found something so her. It's a...
Jack!
What?
She's behind you!
Oh.
Hello and welcome to Houston, Texas, the fourth largest conurbation in the United States, for round 3 of this year's Champ Car World Series. This time, however, again, it was Bourdais who nosed ahead across the start-finish line. They're going to be side-by-side down to turn 1. A very clean start, they're very tightly packed. This is going to be dramatic down in the first corner, and Will Power is on the inside line. Bourdais cuts across that chicane. He gained the advantage, he's clean, but he's going to have to give up that position, James.
He absolutely will have to give that position up, Jeremy. The rule is if you cut a chicane, you cannot gain position or prevent yourself from losing a position. As Justin Wilson makes a great move exiting turn 4. I told you earlier it was going to be very important to get the power down coming out of this corner as they come around the Astrodome. Very bumpy section into a very bumpy braking zone here in turn 6. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with Sebastian because he got the position over Will Power in that chicane, but now it's Justin Wilson who's behind him.
Yes, indeed, and I fancy that the call may well come that Sebastian Bourdais has to drop behind Will Power. That will mean he has to go back to 3rd place, and it's no one's fault other than Sebastian Bourdais. But you know, Craig Hampson, the race engineer for Sebastian Bourdais, is not going to be a happy bunny either. Nor, of course, is Sebastian Bourdais. I was talking to Craig Hampson this morning. He seems to think the whole world is against him, as usual, I guess.
Yeah,
let's have a look at the onboard here from Justin Wilson, and this is making a pass on Will Power.
Yeah, he just got a much better run out of the corner. It seemed Will pushed a little bit wide, wasn't able to get to the throttle as early as Justin was, but back to that chicane as Justin looked a little bit racy on Sebastian here. It honestly surprises me that a 3-time series champion, a seasoned veteran like Sebastian Bourdais would make such a rookie error knowing that he was going to have to give that position back. If he was smart, he should have just backed off going into 3, let Will take the inside line, because now he might very well have to drop all the way back to 3rd in order to avoid a penalty. So interesting to see what Champ Car will do with this situation as we watch now Will Power Team Australia started from pole, currently running in the 3rd position.
Yeah, and struggling a little bit apparently, dropping back there from Justin Wilson in 2nd place. We're going to wait for the official call from race control. We're hearing that he might just have to give up 1 position, and I'm not so sure that's the right call. I mean, as you said, James Hinchcliffe, the opportunity was there for Sebastian Bourdais to lift off going into turn 3 and redress the position. There he's let Justin Wilson go cleanly into turn 2, but we saw that replay. I think it was probably a smart move by Bourdais to cut short that chicane, because he was pretty much he'd left himself with nowhere to go. So, rather than hit anybody, fine, take the escape road. But then he had 2 more corners to give himself an opportunity to let the guy who should have been leading the race, Will Power, go back through. Here's another replay.
Yeah, he really didn't have the room to make it. Will took the corner and forcefully, but as a pole sitter, he had the right to do that. And I just think Sebastian should have known that was going to be coming, and should have let Will by either going into 3 or heading into corner 4.
Yeah, so we're hearing from race control. They've just told him to give up that 1 position to Justin Wilson. So I'd say that's an incredibly lucky escape for Sebastian Bourdais, and Will Power and Team Australia will not be happy at all if that is the ultimate call. You can see, you pointed out just before the start to James Hinchcliffe, looking at the right rear tyre on Will Power's car, you can see most of the front runners, well, I think everybody is starting on the red sidewall, the softer Bridgestone Potenza tyre, not necessarily bright sunshine now, it's cloudy, but pretty humid and certainly pretty hot. It's going to be very physically demanding, James.
Very warm and very humid here in Houston as we see Sebastian Bourdais looking for a move down the inside into the chicane. Textbook stuff, very well done. And is Justin going to maybe try to fight back? He's certainly leaning on Sebastian a little bit as they head into turn 3. Turn 4 is a little bit of a braking zone. You can potentially make a move. He looks not quite close enough. Forces Sebastian a bit wide. Can he maybe get the run down through this long sweeping corner 5 around the Astrodome into the brake zone for turn 6?
Great racing here in the Champ Car World Series. Looking at a super pass, as you said, by Sebastian Bourdais, and Justin Wilson tried hard to get that move back, but
we'll see if that indeed does happen.
Will Power, I think, is around. Will Power,
made a mess of
Will Power.
And he stalled the engine, I think.
Into turn 6, into the back straight. Very bumpy brake zone, as they all are here at Houston. I'm probably sick and tired of hearing it. Contact in the first corner. Neil Johnny involved.
Catherine Legg, too.
Catherine Legg seemed to be the instigator there. Someone else managed to sneak through. Catherine Legg ends up in the wall. We will be going full course caution.
And this is exactly what Sebastian Bourdais did not want to see. A full course caution. Was he committed to making that pit stop before the caution came out? Cameron
Steele. Here in the Bourdais pit, they get a lucky break, and of course they talked about putting a little bit more wing in the front of the car. We're going to look, and indeed they do. Turn in some wing.
Difficult day there is Sebastian Bourdais looking to the inside, down at turn 6, but not quite close enough there, and wisely backs out of it, James.
Very cheeky from Tristan Gomery. I mean, I know he's holding on for dear life to try and keep Sebastian behind him in hope that yellow flag does come out, but Sebastian, he definitely had to back out of that one. He was going for it.
Yeah, but there was no blocking there from Gomery.
Justin Wilson, Mark Johnson, the general manager of PKV Racing. For the second race in a row, Tristan inherits the lead, but the big question, can he hang on to it till the end?
Well, Sebastian just tried to put a wheel in on him there, and he held his ground. Unfortunately, we're a little different fuel strategy than they are right now. We've got to stop one more time, so we get him home, we'll be back in the pits again.
With Bourdais missed on that pass, the guys down here looked at each other, and their eyes began to get really wide. Cameron?
Well, they're saying down here in Sebastian Bourdais' pit that there is an outside shot that Tristan could make it all the way, but he does need quite a bit of caution help. So following up with what Bill said there, on the flip side, Sebastian is good to go, has no conservation needs, and he can go all the way, pedal to the metal, to the finish.
And Graham Rahal, with whom we are on board right now, currently stands in 3rd place, and assuming, of course, that this man, Christian Gomery, the pay-by-touch car, has to come onto pit lane, which is what we believe right now, then that will move Graham Rahal up to 2nd place, and up into 3rd will go Robert Dornbosch from Minardi Team USA. He scored, of course, a podium on his debut in the Champ Car World Series. That was in Las Vegas. Last week in Long Beach, not quite so fortunate, but this has been another very sensible run by Robert Dornbosch.
Yeah, great run. I think strategy came into play a little bit here, but he's kept it off the walls, and that is just sometimes what it takes in the Champ Car World Series. I just want to touch back quickly on what we saw. Very quick replay. A lot was happening with Justin Wilson. He had a moment in the chicane, outbroke himself, spun out. He only seemed to lose 1 position. Currently running in 11th, just behind Alex Tagliani. So. A day of promise. What started out for Justin Wilson has gone from bad to worse, and he's now finding himself outside the top 10, which is certainly not where he wants to be, and just behind his R Sports teammates. So kind of a rough weekend all around for them. But out in front with 80 laps in the books, Tristan Gomery.
And was that Tristan Gomery slowing down? No, we're coming onto pit lane. No, he wasn't coming onto pit lane, but I think Gomery might have just slowed right down there. It looked like it was going into turn 9.
They run him out of fuel.
Yep.
He is out of gas. They pushed that one lap too far, and tragically for him, he went from leading the race to a DNF. You can see him. He is just before
the pit entrance.
Just before he is coming out of turn 9, heading into turn 10. He can see it. How cruel is that?
Indeed,
heartbreaking for Tristan Comedy.
So it looks like he won't then come away with an 11th place finish, because Will Power will certainly overhaul him before the end of the race, and likely too will Roberto Moreno, who's 3 laps off the pace for the Pacific Coast Motorsports team, currently running in 13th is Moreno. So we think Tristan Comedy will most likely end up 13th. Unlucky for some, certainly unlucky for him.
But this does promote Sebastian Bourdais, as we were saying earlier, Jeremy, into the lead. And this man, he's only young man, I guess it's safe to say, into second position. He will, if he can hold off for just 5 more minutes, he will become the youngest ever podium finisher in a Champ Car World Series event by an astonishing margin over Nelson Philippe, the current record holder. He got that just last year, and like I said, he is so many times today. Like I've said, he is driving so heads up and so amazingly well beyond his years. It's just been a really, really impressive performance as we ride on board with the number 2 Medizone car.
Well, there you have it. Sebastian Bourdais from Graham Rahal and Robert Doornbos. Oriol Servia in 4th place ahead of Simon Pagenaud. Bruno Junqueira down in 7th. Dan Clark in 17th. Neil Jarney 15th. Catherine Legg, a creditable 16th position. And Tristan Comedy in 13th. Well, let's have a look at how that affects the championship standings. Defending champion Sebastian Bourdais looking to make it 4 in a row. And at the top of the standings, a 3-point lead from Will Power. We'll see how Bourdais got on in the next 3 rounds of the season. We're going to Portland, Cleveland and Mont-Tremblant in Canada.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Merci. Muchísimas gracias. Merci.
So hectic. I could do with an extra pair of hands. So at the end of the day, I'm ready for some me time. This new Airwick Luminaire with essential oils makes my home smell gorgeous. And I switch on its soothing light to really help me unwind. The new Airwick Luminaire. It's good to be home. And Airwick essential oils come in a variety of diffusers and refills.
Long Way Down, the DVD. The fantastic follow-up to our incredible trip, The Long Way Round. This time, experience our amazing adventure from John O'Groats to Cape Town. 15,000 miles, spectacular scenery, unforgiving terrain, and extraordinary people. A 2-disc set of the brand new series, including unseen and extended footage. Long Way Down, the DVD, out now.
Ammunition-crates got on their truck. Rottweiler. RPGs. Some guys on the left-hand side. They're pointing up this way. Couple moving towards us. Wait.
This film continues at armyjobs.mod.uk.
We're getting ready for the start. There is our pole sitter. Look at the The in-car cameras, Graham Rahal, Justin Wilson and Neil Jarney are going to bring us some fantastic pictures this afternoon. Once the last car is lined up on the grid, they'll get a 15-second board, and there are the lights to start this race. We'll see 4 lights lined up in sequence, and then when the lights go out, the race will be on. The fever is building here. This is going to be tremendously exciting. We're waiting a long time for these standing starts in the Champ Car World Series, and Tony Cotman, the race director, told him he's going to give them a few more seconds to get themselves organised, let the pulses settle just a little bit, because boy, they are really running at this stage in the game, but they want to make sure the cars aren't stationary for too long. We're going to see these lights signed up. As soon as the lights go out, we'll be racing. How about that? Picture perfect down to the first corner. The first 2 cars there, absolutely side by side. Robert Dornbos, he was made an excellent start, but Justin Wilson matched him and held on to that pole position, James.
But it was Will Power who's jumped up from 7th place into 3rd, I think. A fantastic start from the Team Australia car, on board with Graham Rahal now as we head into turn 6. Everybody kind of settling down. We saw 2 cars actually miss the first corner, Jeremy, and to hit the cones. It looked like it was Pagenaud and maybe Tracy.
I think it might have been a PT. Boy, he's had another tough weekend there on the inside. There is PT, however. Boy, he must have made a good start. Maybe it's Oriel Servier that he went off through the chicanes out of the first corner. But look at the lead that Justin Wilson has milled up on this first lap. Of course, we haven't had any parade laps here, so the tyres were stone cold at the start of the race. That's a great getaway by Justin Wilson.
Absolutely fantastic. And of course, it looks like his teammate Alex Tagliani has jumped from 4th into 2nd. Now, Tag was one of the best in practice for the standing starts here in preseason testing. No, I'm lying. I'm sorry. Tag's fallen back. It is still Dornbos in 2nd.
They are very similar, those black and red cars. We've got a lot of black cars in the series this season. And yeah, you're right. I think Tag, there is Sebastian Bourdais. So he maintained that 4th place there, because as you say, Will Power made a stunning getaway from the 4th row of the grid, and he was very disappointed with his qualifying run. He was quick yesterday in the wet. He missed only missed getting on the front row by only a 1/10 of a second, less than a 1/10 of a second, but close is not good enough in the Champ Car Series. It's only the fastest guy in the second session, when the second session is wet, that makes any improvement in his grid position. And the other hard luck story in qualifying yesterday in the wet was Graham Rahal. Just 200ths of a second he missed on his best lap. Otherwise he would have started, if he'd made that 200ths of a second up, he could have started on the front row. As he was, he had to start back on row 4. That is Alex Tagliani onto pit lane. Amazing that through that second stint then, Bourdais was able to put the length of a whole pit stop effectively between himself and Bourdais, because prior to that first round of pit stops, Tagliani been ahead of Bourdais, but here now it's Justin Wilson onto pit lane.
Bruno's in his pit, just be aware of that.
50 miles an hour. It's Phil Howard on the radio.
Race leader Justin Wilson into the pits. They are putting the red Bridgestones back onto the automobile. These fuel cells, 32 gallons, 3 less than what they're normally used to. They were expecting these fuel cells to take a little bit shorter time, but he still has a good pit stop.
He does have a very good pit stop there. Thank you, Bill Stevens. And there goes Justin Wilson.
I've never heard of a Champ Car being referred to as an automobile before. That sounds terribly tame. As Justin comes out behind, looks like Neil Johnny's come out behind there, the Red Bull PKV car, and it's going to be important. I guess Neil still has a stop to make. It's going to be important that he doesn't get held up too much. This is a crucial part of the race, but now Justin back on the tires that he wants. He's got to get up to speed quickly. Got to start laying those laps down.
Yeah, I didn't see where he came out in relation to Sebastian Bourdais, so we'll have to wait to get a visual on that next time around. And here is Justin, of course, cold tires, no tire warmers in the Champ Car World Series, but he is on the softer of the 2 Bridgestone Potenza tires, the red sidewall tires. And now he's got to get his head down, make sure he doesn't make any mistakes. It's very easy to do. 750 horsepower and cold tires. These cars are a challenge to drive.
I think we're on board with Justin now as we head through turn 10, 11. I believe that Sebastian Bourdais is right behind him. There it is. There is the gap down to less than a second. Everything is getting interesting here at the Portland International Raceway.
Look at this, Sebastian Bourdais looks to the inside, under braking for the festival curves, and he takes away the lead. Well, obviously not the lead of the race. Can Justin now? Bit of a mistake there from Sebastian Bourdais, but he holds off Justin Wilson. And boy, that could well be the critical part of this race. Will Power is not actually yet for the lead of the race, because Will Power and Robert Dornbos have yet to make their second pit stops of the afternoon, but that, I believe, is likely to be the turning point in this race. And that whole first stint of the race, Justin Wilson pulled out over 18 seconds over the rest of the field, but that and more now has been overturned by the man, Sebastian Bourdais.
Justin clearly just did not get quite a quick enough out lap, as we see Oriol Servia completing his second scheduled pit stop, and was just able to capitalize on slightly colder tires from Justin Wilson. That one lap later pit stop that he did, Sebastian having one lap more heat in his tires, as we see Robert Dornbos coming in for his pit stop now, and just able to get by. Crucial point, but with the red tires back on his car, will Justin be able to maintain a close gap between him and Sebastian and maybe attack later in this stint?
Yeah, exactly right. So it's a long way to go here in Poland. We've got 58 minutes down, 47 minutes to go in this race. There is our new race leader, Will Power. Will Power won the opening race of the season in Las Vegas. He's been a contender in every race so far this season, and it's been absolutely about a revelation, because he was just improving by leaps and bounds all the way through last year, was Will Power, but this year has been absolutely superb. This was the first time he failed to qualify on the front row of the grid. He's had a good race so far, and now he's looking to make some ground again. There is Catherine Legg making her second pit stop of the day. She was shown inside the top 10 at this stage. She'd been running reasonably competitive at lap times with everybody else. Will Power is on pit lane. Cameron Steele is down
I'm
into
here
the straight.
in Will Power's pit. Everything seems to be good with the car. I just spoke with Derek Walker, who was talking to Dan Racino, the engineer. They're holding it. Look at that. Will wants to go. You hear Derek Walker telling him to hold on the radio. Will Power very antsy to get back out. They talked about a short fill, but it looked like they went ahead and filled the car up.
I don't think that was Will's fault. It sounded like he was just getting on the throttle to make sure that he was on the limiter and ready to go, but the clutch was grabbing just a little bit. The way that car was creeping, it was creeping at too steady a pace with how sensitive these clutches are for him to have been lifting his foot there. So I think his clutch stop maybe not just set far enough. A little bit of a problem there, as we see Sebastian Bourdais trying to clear Catherine Legg of the lapped car. You see Catherine Legg there. The festival curves with just one less than a minute remaining. Sebastian Bourdais will be getting the white flag for the final lap of the race on this time by, and she seems to have gone out. She's lost power to the motor of that car, and what looks like she'll not be able to finish. That is tragic, so close to the end.
Yeah, particularly with all the other 16 cars still running. That'll relegate her to the 17th and final position if she's unable to keep it going again. There goes Sebastian Bourdais, gets the one lap to go now, just less than 2 miles for Sebastian Bourdais. He's been content there. He's tucked in behind Dan Clark. Tagliani in 5th, Dan Clark in 6th. And it's looking good, isn't it? He's 5 times Justin Wilson's finished in second best. I think they're all to Sebastian Bourdais, in actual fact, through his champ car career. But still, it's been a good day, as you say, for Justin Wilson. But it's all about this man, the second half of the day, Sebastian Bourdais. We've said it so many times in the past. This is just his 63rd start in the Champ Car World Series. Incredible winning percentage. He's won 40% of his races. That's better than Michael Schumacher in Formula 1. He won a remarkable 91 races in Formula 1 out of 249 starts, a winning percentage of 36.5. While Manuel Fangio in the 50s won almost 50% of his races. But there's Sebastian Bourdais, another tremendous performance by him. There are the twin checkered flags. Yet another victory for Sebastian Bourdais.
Way to struggle through this weekend. It wasn't that easy, guys. Congratulations to everybody. Newman Haas Racing's 100th.
And there you go. You heard it on the radio. It's important.
Kenny Seawick there, down to Cameron Steele.
Trying to catch up here with Mr. Paul Newman, and he's here with Carl Haas, of course. And congratulations all the way around. Kathy Lauterbach coming in for congratulations, Paul. Congratulations on your 100th win as a team owner. Congratulations on your 100th win as a team owner.
Yeah, it's that kid is quite a phenomenon. He has, and he's got a great crew too. So, unbeatable combination.
definitely a tough combination to beat and a tough weekend starting out for Sebastian, but he seems to be able to overcome just about anything.
Well, I think he was 18 seconds down at one point, and he finished 13, and he was loafing at the last, so.
Another amazing performance for Newman Haas Lanigan. Congratulations, gentlemen. Another great day here for the McDonald's car.
There are all sorts of people in the army. To find out more, text ARMY to 61110 for your free DVD.
Oh, I can't think what to give Cinderella for Christmas.
Oh, yes you can.
But I want to give Cinderella something special.
Use eBay, dear.
eBay, but...
Now, just tell eBay all the things that you know Cinderella loves best.
Oh, well, anything yellow, obviously. But really, there's nothing she likes more than 60s retro stuff. Oh, perfect.
Jack, what are you doing?
Oh, nothing.
Announcing a new breakthrough in dishwashing. The first Finish all-in-one dishwashing tablet. With 10 power actions for outstanding cleaning power to break through even the toughest stains. And is now proven to give a better clean than any other all-in-one tab. New Finish all-in-one, the #1 recommended brand.
Oh, life's so hectic. So at the end of the day, I'm ready for some me time. This new Airwick Luminaire with essential oils makes my home smell gorgeous. And I switch on its soothing light to really help me unwind. The new Airwick Luminaire. It's good to be home.
The new scent of adventure. Dunhill Pursuit.
When Cinderella sees her Christmas present, she's gonna flip!
Oh, did you get her some hair straighteners?
No, I went on eBay, and I got it so right.
Jack, love.
I told eBay all the things I know she loves.
Jack!
And Eureka! I found something so her. It's a...
Jack!
What?
She's behind you!
Oh.
From the AC Cobra to the Mustang 350 GT and the Dodge Viper and much, much more. One name has been synonymous with these V8 American muscle cars, Shelby. This Wednesday, December the 12th from 9 p.m, Motors TV brings you the story of race car driver turned innovator, Carroll Shelby.
It is one of the signature sites of Cleveland, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The Champ Cars are another tradition on the shores of Lake Erie, in town for the 26th year in a row. Among the leading contenders will be Australian Will Power, who won the series opener in Las Vegas. One of the surprises of this season has been the emergence of rookie Robert Dornbosch on the podium in 3 of the first 4 races. Never underestimate PT, the toughest guy in town. Paul Tracy has faced down some mighty challengers. Rookie Graham Rahal has inherited championship-level skills from his dad, Bobby, and he has youth on his side. And then the Sébastien Bourdais, the three-time reigning series champion, may be soft-spoken, but the Frenchman is a talented and tenacious competitor. There's always plenty of rocking and rolling at the Burke Lakefront Airport, and lots more stars looking to shine. Sébastien Bourdais on the pole position. There is Dan Clark. He made a storming start at Portland. Here we are, the Reds are rising. We're getting ready for the start. Breaks on another clean getaway at least. Can they all make it through the first corner? Yes, they can. Fantastic. We've seen all sorts of incidents there in the past, James, but that was a good clean start and a good clean first corner. Can they make it through turn 3?
That was one of the best first corners I've ever seen in the history of Cleveland. Now they're racing down through turns 3 and 4, too wide. Very wide racetrack here, makes for good racing as they're all jockeying for position here on the first lap.
It's Sébastien Bourdais who leads the race for Newman Haas Lanigan Racing. They scored their 100th victory last time out in Portland. Bourdais is on the sequence of 3 in a row. Just remarkable, this man, how much success he's had in the Champ Car World Series. And another brilliant start by him, and he's already beginning to pull a bit of an advantage over Pagenaud and Power in the two Team Australia cars. It's been a great first lap by the Frenchman.
He's absolutely blistering. He's not wasting any time on the red sidewall Bridgestone tires. Those are a little bit softer compound than the black.
He made a mistake there, James. He carried a bit too much speed into that corner, didn't he?
It did look like he clipped the second apex there in that chicane. It's a very, very tricky corner, that one, because there's not a lot of grip, but it's oh so fast. Very easy to make a mistake as Justin Wilson dives down the inside of Dan Clark, and it looks like Dan's teammate Robert Dornbos is right behind him.
Alex Tagliani in there as well, and it was Robert Dornbos who looked like he made a great start once again from 5th row on the grid, from the 5th position on the grid into that first corner. He was diving inside and then outside, but he got through cleanly. He's in 4th place now, though. He got himself ahead of Graham Rahal, the other rookie there. So we've got the veteran Sébastien Bourdais. He's just stunning in this series as you watch Justin Wilson come through in 8th place. Will Power got ahead of Simon Pagenaud at that first corner. They are in 2nd and 3rd, so Pagenaud still the first of the rookies in 3rd. Then Dornbos, Rahal, Paul Tracy's got himself up into the top 6. Then Dan Clark and this man Justin Wilson.
Justin now on a bit of a charge. He's not happy with his qualifying position as we look at replay of the start. A little bit of tire smoke.
Dornbos on the inside to the left there. He pulls out to the left. It's very slippery out there. There's been no running there. And now you'll see him dive to the outside. Here he comes. Here's that first corner. 2 Team Australia cars absolutely side by side. But it was Will Power that got a better run off that corner and onto the back straight. Another angle.
Yeah, so the key for Will here was he was just able to kill a little bit more momentum than Simon around the outside of that corner. And that just gave him a better run heading down the long straight here in turn 3. But very, very impressive. Look at him battling the oversteer, keeping the wheel spin in check. Great start. It must be such a challenge getting the wheels going here on 750 horsepower Champ cars. Standing starts, just look at that.
So cold tyres there. You can see him just struggling for grip on the entrance to the corner, but he got the power down really well. Heads up driving by both those Team Australia cars. Here's Graham Rahal's view.
Would have been really easy for Graham to just overshoot a little bit on cold tires. Oh, you see, he missed a gear there. He actually had to go down an extra gear on the exit of the corner. You can see the car in front of him, Robert Dornbos, on the push to pass, trying to make it by Simon Pagenaud. Was not able to do that. But now, Graham Rahal's looking to fight back. He's got a great run out of the last chicane. You can't block in Champ Car. That will absolutely be deemed a block. If he is not penalized for that, despite the fact that Graham Rahal got by him, I will be shocked and appalled, to be honest.
Well, yeah, it's interesting. I mean, certainly if he hadn't got past now, if he gets the move back here, it looks like he's on the inside again for turn 3. Here's Robert Dornbos there, side by side into 3. You can make it side by side through there, but it's awfully dodgy because yes, oh no, that's Paul Tracy's got together with Graham Rahal.
Absolutely tragic, and you know what? That never should have happened because Robert shouldn't have been anywhere near him. But now we saw Paul lost his lost his front wing. It looks like we're going to go full course caution here, bringing out the first one of the day. Tragic for Graham Rahal. Hopefully that car's still okay.
Yeah, indeed. It was a big spin there, and he certainly got collected by PT. PT, absolutely nothing he could do about it. It certainly wasn't his fault. He was very much the innocent victim, but really so is Graham Rahal, because as you say, Robert Dornbos should not have been in that position. He was clearly blocking Rahal down to that first corner. Rahal should have been able to make that pass, and then he would have been long gone. Here's a replay as they go side by side into the corner, and then Graham is completely offline. PT gets alongside him there. I still don't think it was really PT's fault. He was certainly pushing the issue, though, I have to say.
Yeah, that was it was tough. I mean, this, of course, is the pass Graham Rahal made on Dornbos into corner one. And then
he pretty much compromised on the exit there, wasn't he?
He absolutely was. Robert should not have had anywhere near as good a run if he was on the racing line he should have been on. And you can go side by side through three. This was a good battle. Robert, he was very aggressive. Did not give Graham much room at all.
A fantastic restart from Sebastian Bourdais, James.
He's absolutely not new at this, as Simone Pagenaud is kind of getting racy, looking down the inside of Will Power. And as we see, there's a move going there. It looks
Tagliani.
like Tagliani going by Dan Clark, is it?
I think so. Certainly those two battling for position. Yes, 4th, 6th and 7th was Tagliani moving to the inside. Oh no, there's Bruno Junqueira in one of the Dale Coyne Racing cars. He started off the season so well for Dale Coyne Racing, but now he's lost the power, he's stalled the engine, and what a shame for Bruno. He struggled this weekend, both of the Dale Coyne Racing cars, he and Catherine Legg. They qualified only 14th and 15th, less than a tenth of a second behind him. Let's have a look, see what happened here. Somebody's the PT, I think, diving to the inside, and then he gets hit from behind by
PT. That was PT. PT was the one who hit him, so just all over again. And yeah, that'll obviously bring out another full course caution. There's a second wing in as many laps for Paul Tracy. Well done, mate. Well done. Paul Tracy might run out of noses if he keeps this pace up.
That was unnecessary, wasn't it? And PT there, all of his experience, he's getting very, very frustrated right now. Of course, he had that injury suffered at Long Beach, the second race of the season. He crashed in practice, a heavy front end impact into the wall, and there was a compression fracture of his lower back. Had to sit out the next 3 races. He came back at Portland, crashed on his out lap on Friday morning. And it's going downhill from there. Bill Stevens is in the pit lane now for this to see what happens when Paul comes in for this latest disastrous start to the race.
Oh boy, they're really thrashing down here, Rick Benjamin, as Paul Tracy comes in once again. They thought the car was fine. They didn't anticipate there'd be another problem, and yet they've now discovered that they need to do more repair work on the car. They are also putting on a fresh set of Bridgestone Potenza, staying with the primary tires, and they just topped off the fuel. But as you can see, this pit stop is costing them a little bit of time as they fit that piece back onto the front of the car.
Yeah, he'd actually moved back up into the 10th or 12th place it was before this caution period, because a bunch of other people stopped to top off with fuel during that first caution period of the day. There is Bruno Junqueira finally being restarted, we hope, by the Holmentroy safety crew, but Bruno has already lost a lap, and what a disappointing start to the race for poor old Bruno. He was absolutely the innocent victim there.
Big accident. Tristan Gomedy and Jan Halen involved.
They have got together. I think that might have been the exit of the turn 9 and 10 chicane. But what you see a lot of damage there to Jan Halen's car. The rear end completely torn off the car. Tristan Gomedy in the background. The pay-by-touch car, the Mega Spiera car, also involved. And that's a great shame for those who have been battling for 13th, ironically, and 14th place. Unlucky for some, certainly for these two, as the Holmentroy safety team is onto the scene already. Both drivers have their visors up, and just have a look, just try and see what happened. They're coming through the corner.
That was a big accident. That is a fast part of the racetrack. That chicane there, the 910 chicane, you called it right, Jeremy, is about 135 miles an hour through there. And
here we go. Look at that. Gomedy just got a wiggle on there, ran over the exit of the curb. He lost control. Poor Jan Halen.
That is just one of those racing deals. It's a tricky chicane. You see a lot of guys cut it there, but Jan Halen, complete victim there.
Great shame for Jan. He'd made his pit stop 1 lap before Tristan Gomedy. Gomedy had just come out of the pits on that lap, I believe it was. And Gomedy on cold tires, one has to presume, just lost control in the middle of that corner, went barreling across the grass. Let's have one more look at it here. It's Gomedy leading there, and then Halen behind him, and then Oriol Servier behind those two.
So he cuts across the grass there, misses the second part of the corner, and you can see that's where he went off there. And as he's coming through, he's sideways right now, And as what happens is the rear end grips, and he's got the wheel turned to the right, and when the front end grips, it just spins him right around, and it was just one of those situations, wrong place at the wrong time. Half a second earlier, half a second later, Yen would have been clear of the incident. Just bad timing.
And that seems to sum up the season for Conquest Racing. Boy, they've had bad luck this season. They started off the year, of course, with Matt Halliday, a very talented young Kiwi driver. He had no luck at all in the first 3 races of the season. Jan Halen stepped in last week, did a great job, and ran out of fuel on the final.
Will Power, the leader, he is into the pits.
I just asked team owner Derek Walker, how is the car? He said thumbs up, so there won't be any changes except for the fact they're going from the alternates over to the Blackwall tires, opposite of what Pagenaud just did. They'll fill this car with fuel, and they're very pleased so far with Will Power's performance.
Great stop again for Team Australia. 8.8 seconds, that's all it took for a full tank of methanol fuel and a fresh set of Bridgestone Potential tires. Down the Canfield.
Family in town this weekend, obviously living just about 2 hours away from here. Would really love to get his first win here, as his dad did. They said no change in the car. They just want to make sure they get a full fuel fill. And it looks like they've done just that, and he's away.
Yeah, great stop there by Newman Haas Lanigan Racing. No changes to that car, but a slight front wing change to Sebastian Bourdais' McDonald's car.
Yeah, I think Sebastian knew that the chances were he was going to come out again behind Will Power. And when you're running in that turbulent air I was talking about earlier, it's better to have a little bit more front wing, a little bit more downforce in the front to try and get that last little bit he needs to close back up. But right now, Paul Tracy is leading this race.
Yes, and I tell you what, he's got a little while yet before he's going to be able to make another 2 or 3 laps before he makes his next pit stop. Is he then going to be able to go to the end without making another pit stop? This is absolutely fascinating. Paul Tracy made a couple of mistakes. He's on his 3rd different nose cone assembly in this motor race, and he's leading it. And if the strategy works out his way, he might even turn out on top. He's just turned the fastest lap, or his fastest lap so far in the race, is a 58.3.
The McDonald's car in the tires. What corner is that?
Hard to say. I think that might be down at turn 8 at the far end of the racetrack. The full course caution is going to go out. Paul Tracy, I've got to. He's not in the tyre, so whether it's a mechanical problem or whether he's spun off, we don't yet know. Where on earth is he?
There's a brake marker and he's facing the wrong direction. So I think he's in between. I think he's on the back straight. He's out of corner 8, heading towards the 910 chicane. And yeah, see, there is the wall. Yeah, that's what it is. He's in between. He's right before pit in. I don't know.
Yeah, so it's turn 5 and 6 there, isn't it?
This is turn 5 and 6 here. Yeah. So he stopped on the back straight. There is Dan Clark outside of turn 3. Outside of, I guess, inside of the exit of turn 3, if you will, as the Homatro safety team shows up to try and get his car back going. That's absolutely gutting for Dan. He was having such a good result. He just needed a good finish here.
Now, this is going to, we're hearing it's a mechanical problem for Sebastian Bourdais. He's still sitting in the car, but clearly it's not a place you're going to spin there. So I think it's not a mistake from Sebastian Bourdais. We have to assume it's some sort of a mechanical problem. I'm sure we'll find out what it is in due course. But the caution, yet another full course caution. The pits, of course, are closed under full course caution. And I have to correct myself. I was getting a bit too excited there about PT being able to make it to the end of this race as it stood, I believe, because you can do about 7 or 8 laps, and he was a bit more than that when he made his final pit stop, so my apologies for that. But now he might be able to get to the end of the race without making another pit stop with this full course caution. It's Will Power leads the race now from his Team Australia teammate as Dan Clark rejoins in the Ozjet car number 4 there of the Minardi Team USA. So it's Will Power, Simon Pagenaud, Paul Tracy is up into 3rd place ahead of Graham Rahal. You don't count out Graham Rahal, particularly with the second of Newman Haas Lanigan cars out of contention. Justin Wilson finds himself in 5th as the safety team gets to help Sebastian Bourdais and hopefully at least drag him back towards the pit lane. Tagliani in 6th, then Robert Dornbosch, Neil Jani, Ron Dial in 9th place, then Oriol Servia. Dan Clark rejoins in 11th, so Sebastian Bourdais Stone in 12th and getting a tow back to the pit lane. And now he's going to got this final chicane. He has to get a run out of it. PT now is looking good. He's made that exit to the corner, and here we come. The checkered flags are waiting. It's been 2 years for Paul Tracy, but amazingly he comes through to win the race. What an epic turnaround for Paul Tracy. Cleveland in 2005, his last victory. He's had so many disappointments since then. This race started off absolutely disastrously. 2 changes of nose in the first dozen laps of the race, and he ends up winning winning it. It was a great performance, though, after he got those mistakes out of the way, wasn't it?
He certainly looked like a complete rank amateur at the beginning of this race, but Paul Tracy in true form has brought it all back, winning on the 2-year anniversary of his last victory. He will be steering his Forsythe Championship Racing car back into victory lane, and you can just see how elated this crew is. It's been such a long time coming. They've had so many disappointments, Jeremy, as you say, and as early as this morning and earlier this afternoon they've been having disappointments, but they came back in such fantastic fashion.
It's his 31st career win in the Champ Car World Series. That equals the tally of Al Unser Jr. It's his 3rd win here in Cleveland, and it's his first win since he won on this very same racetrack 2 years ago. And you know, I spoke to him at Portland on Saturday. He crashed on his outlap on Friday morning, did a lot of damage to the car, had to switch to the backup car in Portland. Struggled all weekend long, and he was struggling qualifying on Saturday. I saw him right afterwards. He said, you know, Jeremy, it's days like this I really begin to wonder about retirement, because he was really down in the dumps. He struggled this weekend as well, but it's all come good for Paul Tracy. A great performance, and it's Paul Tracy who wins the Grand Prix of Cleveland.
There are all sorts of people in the Army. Discover more about yourself with the Army Pathfinder at armyjobs.mod.uk.
No prescription for me. She's the one, the only remedy.
When cold and flu symptoms stop you sleeping, Night Nurse provides powerful, complete nighttime cold and flu relief. Nurse it better with Night Nurse.
Imagine if every time you brushed, you had the power of the Oral-B experts behind you. Introducing Oral-B Triumph with Smart Guide. Its wireless monitor helps you brush better, and its Micropulse head cleans deep for healthier gums. Put their power behind your smile. Oral-B Triumph with Smart Guide. Oral-B is the #1 rechargeable toothbrush brand, and right now, most of them are half price. Merry Christmas.
Life's so hectic, I could do with an extra pair of hands. So at the end of the day, I'm ready for some me time. This new Airwick Luminaire with essential oils makes my home smell gorgeous. And I switch on its soothing light to really help me unwind. The new Airwick Luminaire. It's good to be home. And Airwick essential oils come in a variety of diffusers and refills.
Long Way Down, the DVD. The fantastic follow-up to our incredible trip, The Long Way Round. This time, experience our amazing adventure from John O'Groats to Cape Town. 15,000 miles, spectacular scenery, unforgiving terrain, and extraordinary people. A 2-disc set of the brand new series, including unseen and extended footage. Long Way Down, the DVD, out now.
We're delighted you could join us for the first of 3 consecutive races that will comprise Champ Car's Canadian Triple Crown. A special welcome to our viewers across Canada on Global, joining us today and for the next 2 events in Toronto and Edmonton. Hello and welcome, my name is Jeremy Shaw, and alongside is Canada's own James Hinchcliffe, fresh off a podium finish in this morning's Champ Car Atlantic race, and relishing, James, what is a spectacular racetrack.
This is a fantastic circuit here, the Mont Tremblant track, through the forest, through the hills. Lots of history here, an exciting opportunity for these drivers.
But drama already, that is Tristan Gomondi. The Frenchman had qualified on the pole, but it looks like his car will not start. They're on the main straightaway, getting ready for a standing start, but for Gomondi, it appears to have all gone wrong already.
Disaster for the PKV Racing team. This is their first pole of the season. Again, Tristan's first pole, did a fantastic job all weekend long, and they cannot get this car started. Now, if he can get the car running before the field comes around, he'll be able to take his grid spot, but it doesn't look like they're going to get it going in time for the start of the race, Jeremy.
Oh, what a disaster. The Frenchman just did a fabulous job. 27 years of age he is, from Paris, France, and spectacular. It's been all weekend long. Qualified on the pole on Friday. Yesterday it was wet in the final session, but his time from Friday therefore stood up for the pole, and he was so much looking forward to it. The other drama this weekend, of course, is Paul Paul Tracy. He was magnificent 1 week ago in Cleveland. He came from the back and won the race, and he qualified initially in 11th place, but then in a warm-up this morning it all went wrong. They made a change to that car overnight, coming into turn 10, a very quick corner. PT just ran out of the road, destroyed the left-hand side of the car, and he will be starting from the back in a backup car this afternoon. Paul Tracy has a lot of work ahead of him. The lights are going to come on. This is a tremendously exciting new addition to the Champ Car World Series this year. The lights will come on, then they will go off, and then we will be racing. Will Power has stalled it from... everything is... Both Team Australia cars are on the grid, as I think was Jan Halen as well. Everything has played into the hands of Sebastian Bourdais, James.
It's been an absolute appalling start, and actually Sebastian jumped the start, so you say that, Jeremy, but he definitely moved before those lights went out, I think. I mean, it's going to be tough from those camera angles, but it looked like Sebastian moved, and that kind of spooked Will. He stalled, and of course his teammate, Simone Pagenaud, also started. Disaster for Team Australia.
Just incredible. 2 Team Australia cars. It's the first time in, 3 standing starts now for the Champ Car World Series. It was introduced in Portland. Absolutely picture perfect it was there. Equally last time out in Cleveland. And now 3 guys have stalled. And there's only 2 safety trucks down there as well at this stage in the proceedings. So poor old Jan Halen, once again for Conquest Racing. They're just completely out of it. There is Will Power. He is stalled on the grid. And here again, look at that. The yellow flags are away. Boy, that was close.
He was so lucky to not get collected. You could see how close they were at the end.
Just missed him.
They are coming from the back of that grid. They will have had enough time to accelerate to quite a quick speed, nearly 120 miles an hour.
On board to Graham Rahal.
A fantastic racetrack there for a temporary circuit. It's one of the fastest and most furious that we get to race on in the Champ Car World Series. So we are going green this time by Sebastian Bourdais. Will lead them back to the restart. He, of course, is always a master of restarts, but Robert Dornbos, his closest competitor in the championships, right behind him, and he's going to want to try and get by.
Look at this view here. You can see that dark band of cloud there across the middle of the picture, but no rain at the moment, but there are the rain tires are on the pit wall for Newman Haas Lanigan Racing. Certainly not expecting anybody to pit right now, but before the end of the race, well, who knows. As you can see there, we've had 2 full course cautions, and now we're ready to go back to green. And Bourdais, there is Bourdais rejoining.
It is Bourdais. He's somehow spun off. He spun off under caution because it is now raining quite bad, and Paul Tracy on fire. It looks like the engine maybe has let go. That's, of course, speculation at this point. There's no way to tell, but definitely smoke coming out of the back of that car. Disaster, just from bad to worse for the local, at least Canadian native Paul Tracy.
We saw Bourdais going up into that corner. We didn't see him off. Was I just looking the wrong way? We didn't see him run off the road, did we?
No, we absolutely did. I mean, I'm not sure. I don't think he was trying to pit, and we've not gone to green. It's gone back to yellow, but Sebastian's now moved quite far down the order. No one knows what happened there. I think it's just it has started raining quite badly now on the front straight and through that last corner, so perhaps Sebastian was absolutely just caught out. The safety car has retaken the field, so now we're just trying to sort everything out and figure out if Sebastian gets those places back or if he loses them because he spun. It's almost impossible to tell what's going on.
I think it seems to be raining out there a little bit as well, so all
With
sorts
Michael
of
Cannon running the show for Robert Dornbos. Has this one been wild enough for you yet?
Plenty wild, and I think it's about to get wilder. I mean, driving these things in the wet on slicks is it's like going on a greased dance floor. It's terrible.
Will Power's gone off the road. Oh no, he was challenging for the lead there was Will Power. Graham Rahal is still in the lead of the race, and it's Will Power that has made the mistake.
It looks like that was the exit of turn 5. We're going to see a replay now as he comes through here, gets up on that curb, and just loops it around to the inside. Oh, so easy to do, especially in these changing conditions.
Looks like he just got on the power a little bit too soon coming off the corner, doesn't it?
Well, look at the rain on the camera lens, and now as Will Power is wheel to wheel with Robert Dornbos, he slipped in between Justin Wilson and Robert Dornbos. No, sorry, that is Alex Tagliani now, who he is tracking down as we look back from the Walmart R Sports car. Look at the drama. Oh, man, this is good stuff. He managed to get by Justin Wilson there, and the rain is coming down. Sebastian Bourdais in the mix. Oh, got to be very careful at this stage as I guess that's Dornbos gets by Justin Wilson now.
Sensational racing.
Bourdais running wide. He's going to try and high-low him on the outside, and he's going to look to the inside of Will Power. 2 spots in less than 1 corner. Justin Wilson slots in behind Bourdais. They're all running a little bit wide here. Who can be... Oh, this is awesome stuff.
Justin Wilson, absolutely sensational. Look at the Bourdais, he gets it so sideways, and look at the rain coming down.
Justin wiping his visor as they head down to the chicane. Look for action here. This cannot be clean. Oh, all the guys playing very well, but look at how close they are. Justin Wilson, of course, native of England. It rains quite often there in the junior formulas, Germany, so I think he's had a few laps as Will Power looks inside of Bourdais.
I think Justin might have raced in the rain just once or twice in his career previously, but look at this battle there behind. Justin slithering around for tremendous car control, and Bourdais is struggling. You know, he's in the lead of the championship. He doesn't want to throw it away, does he?
No, he doesn't, and Will Power does get him by. Does get by him. It's Pagenaud, sorry, as we see Alex Figge off in the dirt. It looks like that might have been in turn 4, so he'll join. Now Dornbos is looking at the back of Sebastian Bourdais. It's like Michael Cannon alluded to earlier. Slick tires, wet racetrack, and a champ car is like dancing on a greased dance floor.
Yeah, it is indeed. And 33 minutes to go in this race. Ideally, the teams would like to call their drivers into the pits with about 28 or 29 minutes to go in the race. We see, I think that's Will Power off the road back there. Was that Pagenaud or was that Power?
I think Pagenaud's ahead of this group. I think that was Power. There's Pagenaud at the front of the screen. There's Dornbos followed by Sebastian Bourdais, Neil Johnny, Alex Tagliani, and I guess Oriol Servia down there. So just all sorts of jockeying for position going on.
Brilliant move that was by Justin Wilson. Absolutely fantastic.
For here in Tremblant, the first of 3 races in Champ Car's Canadian Triple Crown. And right now we have 4 cars out of the race, but Justin Wilson locking up the brakes into 14, running a bit wide, but we're not actually green yet, so Pagenaud can't pass. The flag is waving now. We're back to racing here in Tremblant.
Boy, that was a narrow escape there. Justin Wilson leads across the line. Look at Alex Tagliani and Robert Dornbos there trying to make a move on Neil Johnny. Can he go around the outside? No chance, surely. No, it's Pagenaud slots into second, Neil Johnny in third, then Robert Dornbos, then Sebastian Bourdais. We saw Bourdais dominating the early stages of the race until he made a mistake under similar conditions a little while ago. And look at these different lines through there. Robert Dornbos is trying to take advantage.
Just can't do it. Wow. Sebastian Bourdais around the outside of turn 5 might get a good run on these two, but these two are having a battle of their own, and Sebastian did get a run, but inadvertently, Robert Dornbos was in a way blocking because he was trying to make a pass on Neil Johnny, but Robert Dornbos is no stranger to blocking, as we know, as Will Power now hounding down the back of the McDonald's car.
Look at that, Justin Wilson trying to make his escape at the front. He was masterful in those conditions before we had this latest full course caution. Can he keep it on the road now? No, he can't.
He cannot. All by himself, yep. Justin Wilson seems to have outbroke himself, and now Will Power goes by, so that knocks him down to what looks like 6th position. And now he doesn't have the benefit of having clean air, but that puts Simon Pagenaud in the lead of this race.
Last year's Atlantic champion, Simon Pagenaud, he's been quick in all the races this year. Just a couple of 5th place finishes to show for it so far. And now he's in the lead of the race. This is the first time that Simon Pagenaud has led a Champ Car race. Last year he won the championship, only won a couple of races. It was Graham Rahal had the better record in terms of finishing positions and overall stats, but it was Pagenaud that came away with that $2 million prize, worked himself up to get a place, stayed with Team Australia and the Walker Racing organisation, moved up into the Champ Cars, and Pagenaud is now looking very, very good. He's no stranger to these conditions either.
Well, I can tell you from experience, he is incredibly quick in these raining conditions, and he actually had the fastest lap that time by of all of the leaders. So Simon Pagenaud, from stalling on the grid, is now leading this race with but 23 minutes left to go.
Fantastic stuff. Look at the battle there between Neil Johnny and Robert Dornbos. So it's all European drivers at the front, isn't it? The Frenchman Pagenaud, the Swiss driver Neil Johnny, the Dutchman Robert Dornbos, then the Frenchman Sebastian Bourdais, then the Aussie Will Power, and then Justin Wilson from England, Alex Tagliani, the best of the homegrown drivers, in 7th place. Well, 7th place at the moment.
And it's also 2 Red Bull drivers battling for 2nd and 3rd, because even though Dornbos's car is not a Red Bull livery, he is a Red Bull personally sponsored driver, as of course is Neil Johnny in the Red Bull car. So a little bit of inter-sponsor rivalry, if you will, perhaps going on there.
Very much so, and there is Simon Pagenaud. Cameron Steele in the Walker Racing pit, Team Australia.
You'll have yet another chance to look into the motor racing future this Monday, December the 10th, when we head to Hutton Park for round 10 of the Motors TV Karting Challenge at 7:30. Motors TV, the only place to see tomorrow's cars in action today. is something for everyone on the High Speed Television Network this Sunday, December the 9th from 9 p.m. It will be Ferrari magazine highlights. Then we will take a look back at all the best moments from this year's Dutch Supercar Challenge. Before we wrap up the evening with another edition of Race and Rally UK right here on Motors TV.
There are all sorts of people in the army. To find out more, text ARMY to 61110 for your free DVD.
Oh, I can't think what to give Cinderella for Christmas.
Oh, yes you can.
But I want to give Cinderella something special.
Use eBay, dear.
eBay, but...
Now, just tell eBay all the things that you know Cinderella loves best.
Oh, well, anything yellow, obviously. But really, there's nothing she likes more than 60s retro stuff. Oh, perfect.
Jack, what are you doing?
Oh, nothing.
Sky Broadband is here. To get the most out of Sky with Sky Broadband, visit sky.com/broadband.
Oh, life's so hectic. So at the end of the day, I'm ready for some me time. This new Airwick Luminaire with essential oils makes my home smell gorgeous. And I switch on its soothing light to really help me unwind. The new Airwick Luminaire. It's good to be home.
When Cinderella sees her Christmas presents, she's gonna flip!
Oh, did you get her some hair straighteners?
No, I went on eBay, and I got it so right.
Jack, love.
I told eBay all the things I know she loves.
Jack!
And eureka! I found something so her. It's a...
Jack!
What?
She's behind you!
Oh.
It is really tricky out there at the moment.
These are some of the trickiest conditions that you'll ever see, especially because it's not consistent. It rains, it stops raining, it starts to dry, it starts raining again.
All in different parts of the racetrack.
All in different parts of the racetrack. So this has been a serious test of all these drivers' abilities, their focus, and their ability to read the racetrack. That is just so important in these conditions. And Simon Pagenaud, as you can see, in the best seat in the house because he's got no one in front of him. These two other drivers, Robert Tournebosch and Sebastian Bourdais, having to battle through the spray of one another. So Simon Pagenaud still sitting in a very good situation.
I think it was Tournebosch just threw off a tear off as he came up the hill into turn 12. Gets some power, and it's really tricky to get the power down there. Really no grip at all. Under this very tricky braking location there up into the hairpin. Look, oh, he's running. I was going to say he's running the rim. He's actually run too wide as Pagenaud. He's made a mistake. He's lost the lead. Not only has he lost the lead, he's lost second place as well. So it's going to be Robert Tournebosch who leads, and there's 15 minutes to go in the champ car at Mont Tremblant. More drama then. A mistake for our race leader Simon Pagenaud. We had two rookies out at the front. Pagenaud has made a mistake. There is the Frenchman. He rejoins in third place, but it's another rookie, Robert Tournebosch, who takes over the lead for the second time this afternoon. there is the average finishing positions for each of the top drivers in the championship this year coming into this race. Robert Dornbosch, a better average finishing position than everybody else. And Paul Tracy, you think, how is Tracy up there? Well, he's only started 3 races coming into this weekend. He was 3rd in the season opener. He won the race in Cleveland. That's why he has a better average finishing position than our championship leader, Sebastian Bourdais. Bourdais has had 2 DNFs and 3 wins, and the average finishing position there, you'll see a whole place lower than Robert Dornbosch. And right now, it's Robert Dornbosch who leads again.
And you can see there from that last camera shot, there was part of the racetrack that was starting to be different color. It's starting to dry. It's Alex Tagliani trying to make a move on Neil Gianni. So this racetrack is drying. The sun is out, despite the fact there's still this kind of spray coming up into the driver's view as they head through 6. Justin Wilson, the number 9 CDW car, his teammate Alex Tagliani, the Quebecois, the Canadian, the hometown hero running right in front of him, would so desperately like to get a top 5 finish here, but he's hounding down Neil Gianni, the rookie, and it could potentially happen with just 3 minutes left in this race.
Yeah, just a couple of laps ago now. I think last time around it was Robert Dornbosch, the quickest man on the track, a 1:33.5. That compares to the pole time, which is 1:16, so almost 20 seconds slower in these very treacherous conditions on board here with Graham Rahal in 8th place. Dornbosch was the quickest man last time, 1:33.5. Bourdais, by comparison, 1:34.995. So 1.5 seconds Dornbosch was quicker than Bourdais. There is a gap now between 1st and 2nd. They're in 3rd place. Matching the pace of Sebastian Bourdais is Will Power. 2nd of the Team Australia cars is Simon Pagenaud. There is Simon, car number 15, the Aussie Vineyards car, in 4th ahead of Neil Gianni and Alex Tagliani, then Justin Wilson.
As you can see, Graham Rahal struggling to get the power down in this 750 horsepower turbocharged Cosworth motor. There's just not a lot of grip out there on board with Graham, and also visibility is just so tough over these massive curves in the turn 2 chicane. Down this hill, the back end will get very light. You got to be careful on the power, and Graham's just doing a very good job right now keeping this car pointed in the right direction.
Yeah, he's going to be so disappointed. He was looking so good when he came in for that pit stop on lap 44. It was 16 laps ago when Rahal came onto the pit lane. He was out in the lead of the race, had a handy lead of everybody else. He was therefore the first guy to change onto wet weather tyres, but then the engine stalled. He lost a massive amount on the pit lane before he was able to resume, and now he's down to 8th place. And I was talking to him about less than an hour before the start of the race. He said, you know, I've had so much bad luck this season. Is today going to be the day that it turns around? Well, apparently not for Graham, but he certainly made his mark again. Done a very good job, the young rookie.
He certainly has, as has his Atlantic sparring partner from last year, Simon Pagenaud, who will also be disappointed to have taken himself out of contention for the win there with that mistake. But Robert Dornbosch, the rookie, the Dutchman, Team Minardi USA, he has been on the podium in 4 out of 5 races so far, and he leads this race with 1 minute to go as Alex Tagliani drives off the road at the top of the hill.
The Quebecois, he was born just about 90 minutes away from here. He loses at least 1 position, probably 2, yes, to Wilson, his teammate, and Graham Rahal. There, though, is Robert Dornbosch, who's the signal for 1 lap to go. Look at the Dutchman, he's still clambering over the curves. You can see how the track is drying out. He was a semi-professional tennis player before he turned to motor racing. He loves this racetrack. They came here for a test about 1 month ago. Robert Dornbosch was quickest on the first day of that test. He's just done a remarkable job this season, and this afternoon in treacherous conditions, has he actually made a mistake? I don't think he has. He's driving absolutely beautifully. And look at the lead he's pulled out over Sebastian Bourdais.
He is still pushing, but I guarantee you this feels like the longest lap of his life. This, Jeremy, has been the race that nobody wanted to win. Your pole sitter doesn't even make it off the grid. The guy who then is starting first stalls. Justin Wilson goes off. Sebastian Bourdais, Simon Pagenaud. But this man, Robert Dornbosch, says, you know what? If no one else wants it, I will take it.
Yes, indeed. And Sebastian Bourdais has set the fastest lap of the race. That is worth a bonus championship point. You get 31 points for a win. You get 27 for second. So a 4-point gap between first and second. But you do get that bonus point for the fastest lap of the race. By my unofficial reckoning, these two will end this day equal championship point leaders. And look at Robert Dornbosch. He's got just now 2 corners to go. He comes up into this very, very tricky turn 14. He slithers around. He gets the power down. The Dutchman, absolutely superb. Look at that. It is time for champagne. Robert Dornbosch, in his 6th Champ Car start, comes away with his first victory. A remarkable day. It's the birthday of the team co-owner Keith Keith Wiggins. Paul Stoddart is here. Minardi Team USA celebrating a sensational victory.
This is just fantastic stuff. Robert Dornbos, the rookie, the winner, as he pumps his fist in the air. He has got to be just so excited. Happy birthday, Wiggy. What better present for your team owner than your debut victory? This is just fantastic. The team's first victory since last year. Nelson Philippe won in Surfers Paradise, Australia, and they just must be over the moon to open up their winning count at this point of the season.
He's a very likeable young man, is Robert Dornbos. 25 years of age, lives most of the time in Monte Carlo, at least when he's in Europe, that is, but he is a Dutchman, and he doesn't have nearly as much experience as many of these other guys. As I said before, he only started, he even thought about racing in 1998. Let's go down to Bill Stevens in the Minardi pit.
There's jubilation down here in the Team Minardi pit. Paul started, the team owner. Tell us about your thoughts right now.
Well, I tell you what, this is all the reasons I came to Champ Car for, because this is absolutely fantastic. And what a drive by Robert. You know, we had a little mess in the pit stop. He dropped from first to third. We then had the rain come down. What a race and what a drive.
What about the performance of the crew overall, being able to strategize in the rain and the dry, tires, fuel strategies?
It's all about driver, engineer and pit crew. And for 5 podiums out of 6 races, it ain't too bad.
Nice job.
Yeah, the Australian-born Paul Stoddart there. He made his fortune in the aviation industry, and he then raced for many, many years in Formula One. He took over the Minardi team, but they were perennial backmarkers in Formula One. They still had a pretty impressive budget, but they were never off the back of the grid. He comes here to Champ Car because he knows he has a chance to win races. That's exactly what he has done. So there is Robert Dornbos, and just 1 week from now we're going to go to Toronto for the Steelback Grand Prix. Paul Tracy's had a disappointing day here. Can he come back there? Check your local listings for the broadcast times. We will be there in Toronto. Robert Dornbos is with Cameron Seal, is with the race winner.
Well, he's done it, and he's off with the crew. It's a dog pile, so to speak. I'm going to have to step over the car myself. And Robert, bringing the goods home. A happy birthday present to Keith Wiggins, one of the team owners.
I was singing him a song on the lap in. I was happy birthday to you, Creed. And great race. I mean, these are the ones you want to win in all conditions. We've been so quick during the weekend, and on the dry, I had some hot moments when it started to rain. But I was able easy to pull away, and also in the wet. And I mean, it's just a great team effort. I'm so happy. We worked very hard for this, and to get our first victory is very special.
Impressive performance for you, but a 3-time champion never likes to finish second. I know you're not.
It's got nothing to do with finishing second. You know, I think if I was to finish second fair and square, that's fine. But the way Robert drove today, to me, is completely not like him. I think he's much better than that. He knows exactly what he's done, and you know, that's fine. It's fine. It's just.
Specifically, what was it that Robert did?
I mean, it's all right. You know, it's just. He knows exactly what he's done. I don't need to comment about it. It's just a shame, you know. It's we're not supposed to drive like that in Champ Car. We're not allowed to block. So, period. You know, it's just it changed lanes about 3 times when I was picking a side. You know, that's the way it is.
Well, that's how it affects the championship standings. Robert Dornbos with that win, going level on points with Sebastian Bourdais at the top of the standings. Will Power in 3rd place, Justin Wilson of Great Britain in 4th, 32 points behind. But very soon, we can meet the man who's standing in 6th place in the standings. He's a Frenchman, and he's called Simon Pagenaud. And here we are, a young driver who indeed has sped his way up the Champ Car hierarchy, Simon Pagenaud. As you've seen, the Frenchman finished 4th at Mont-Tremblant, as well at the 2 following rounds at Toronto and Edmonton. Indeed, the youngster was the revelation of the season. Motors TV journeyed to Indianapolis during the summer. Simon calls it home. In the US, he hasn't found it difficult to settle in, making the most of his chance to succeed in the American racing scene.
This is for Champ Car.
J'ai pris le choix de venir à Indianapolis, là où on est maintenant.
I chose to come to Indianapolis to first race in the Atlantic Series, which I won, and this year I moved up to the Champ Car Series. The choice of team was rather easy, actually. I won in Atlantic with Team Australia, so it would have been tough to leave them. It is a very strong team, so it was normal that I stayed on with them. But the negotiation period was very long. It took from September 2006 just until February 2007 for the decision to be made. It's the system that does this. It was done correctly though, and I am happy to be with them.
Mais c'est le système. Je crois qu'il va me rentrer dedans. Mais c'est le système qui est comme ça et.
And it was rather logical that I continued
donc
on
ça s'est
with
fait
them.
dans de très bonnes conditions et c'était pour ça surtout que je suis allé chez Team Australia. Mais bon, c'était un peu logique que ça se fasse avec ce team-là puisqu'il m'avait permis de gagner en 2006. Donc,
Well, while in Indianapolis, we paid a visit to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Simon Pagenaud, like so many before him, would one day love to race in the Indy 500. Even when you're a Champ Car driver, this is still a dream.
c'est un rêve d'enfant, je dirais.
Oh yeah, it's a childhood dream really. I've always thought about the Indy 500. It's a really legendary race. The first was held at the beginning of the 20th century, and in the back of my mind I want to do it one day. I have to find the right opportunity to do it in good conditions, and I'm going to do what I can to take part. It's kind of like an endurance race for open wheel cars, and it's pretty amazing. It's longer, and I would have to adapt, of course. I know it can be an economy run with the fuel early on in the race, and that it's a sprint for the last 100 miles. But really, I'm ready to adapt. And we were also given an exclusive tour of the Team Australia shop, run by owner Derek Walker.
Hello, Derek. Hello there, how are you?
Derek Walker, my team owner.
How do you do? Welcome to Indianapolis.
Voilà, on a différents cadres qui illustrent un petit peu cette saison 2007.
Here are some pictures from the 2007 season. Here's one that's like Top Gun with my teammate Will Power.
Encore un portrait de Will. Toute l'écurie.
And this is one of the entire walking racing team with the Formula BMWs, Formula Atlantics and the two Champ Car chassis. Nearly 30 people work here full time.
Au total, une trentaine, 38 personnes qui travaillent autour des voitures et dans le team australien. Voilà. Et là, je vous fais rentrer dans le vif de l'action. Dans le vif du sujet, je dirais, c'est l'atelier.
Now we'll get down to the business at hand. The factory. It's very clinical. We refer to it as the hospital. It's where the mechanics work all day long throughout the week, starting at 5 a.m. and wrapping up at 5 p.m. There's a lot of work to be done with these cars. I could go on for days. There's so much to do, really. Well, sadly, we've run short of time, but we can clearly see that Pagenaud is very passionate about his racing, but also level-headed. After Mont-Tremblant, Simon spent just a few days in Indianapolis before returning to Canada for round 7 of the season in the streets of Toronto.
There are all sorts of people in the Army. Discover more about yourself with the Army Pathfinder at armyjobs.mod.uk.
Announcing a new breakthrough in dishwashing. The first Finish all-in-one dishwashing tablet. With 10 power actions for outstanding cleaning power to break through even the toughest stains. And is now proven to give a better clean than any other all-in-one tab. New Finish all-in-one, the #1 recommended brand.
Why do you need twice the power for daily cleaning? New Sillet Bang Grime and Lime, now twice as powerful on soap scum. Let's see the bath test. New Sillet Bang is more powerful than cream cleaners. Look, less scrubbing than cream cleaners. Look at the proof. On everyday bathroom lime scale, new Bang and it's gone. Try this power in your bath, in your kitchen, even on rust. Try it round your home and make everyday cleaning easy. New Bang with twice the power. Bang and the dirt is gone.
Oh, life's so hectic. I could do with an extra pair of hands. So at the end of the day, I'm ready for some me time. This new Airwick Luminaire with essential oils makes my home smell gorgeous. And I switch on its soothing light to really help me unwind. The new Airwick Luminaire. It's good to be home. And Airwick essential oils come in a variety of diffusers and refills.
Long Way Down, the DVD. The fantastic follow-up to our incredible trip, The Long Way Round. This time, experience our amazing adventure from John O'Groats to Cape Town. 15,000 miles, spectacular scenery, unforgiving terrain, and extraordinary people. A 2-disc set of the brand new series, including unseen and extended footage. Long Way Down, the DVD, out now.
Last week at Mont Tremblant, a brilliant battle raged among the raindrops, with Robert Dornbush edging Sébastien Bourdais for the victory. But following the checkers, the series champion accused the rookie of unfair driving.
We're not supposed to drive like that in Champ Car. We're not allowed to block.
The controversy carried over to the podium ceremonies, where emotions were still running high. Great start there by Oriol Servier. Takes the lead at the start. One car stalled on the grid. I think it was Dan Clark, James, but otherwise a clean start. Look at Sébastien Bourdais there. A big sideways slide.
It's Robert Dornbos who stalled on the grid, and they're going to have to bring out the full course caution if they can't get that car moving. You see the safety workers there trying to get him going as the whole field funnels down into turn 3, and it looks like Oriol Servier has jumped up into the lead.
Well, one of the Team Australia cars, and that was Will Power diving up the inside. It was a brilliant start by Oriol. He's lost the front wing there on the Team Australia car.
He certainly did. He had contact there, and Oriol leading from Sébastien Bourdais and Justin Wilson, who had slight contact with Bruno Junqueira in the first corner. Alex Tagliani up to 5th, and I believe it's Simone Pagenaud now running 6th. His teammate will be falling back without that front wing and will have to stop on this lap.
Yeah, so Pagenaud did not make a good start. Look at Paul Tracy's been involved in this as well. No! It's a disaster for Paul Tracy. He was so excited. Then Tristan Gormley also involved in action, and Graham Rahal and somebody else as well who's canned in the back of PT. So absolutely disastrous first lap. And of course we're going full course caution. Might be one that it's actually Catherine Legg who's involved as well. So poor old Catherine. She was so much looking forward to this race. She's really struggled the last couple of events. Cleveland, in actual fact, she parked the car. The handling was so bad. Also struggled last week as well.
And Halen involved as well, it looks like. This has just been a tragic start to this event.
Very tricky conditions. The track's pretty much dry now, but there's Catherine.
And Alex Figge looks like he's got involved in this melee as well, but tragic for Paul Tracy, who we're looking at now. He's obviously was looking for a good result here in his hometown, and he just got caught out. He had the front wing of Will Power jammed into his front wing, and when they came around the quick turn 7, that's a flat-out corner here. Obviously, his front downforce was compromised. No front grip, went straight into that wall.
This is an absolutely disastrous start for us. We've lost almost half the field, James.
Yeah, this is really not the best way to start it. We're going to try and get to a replay of Paul Tracy, and here we go. You can see now, heading through turn 3, there's a lot of moisture on the lens there. You can see he's picked up the front wing, and already he's struggling to keep the front end of the car turning. He comes through here, big understeer. See how close he gets to the wall there. He knows something's wrong at this point. From that vantage point, the driver cannot see the front wing, so he wouldn't know necessarily that there's a wing stuck under his wing.
And this flat-out corner here at turn 7, look, he turns into the corner, a bit of dampness there as well. That all adds up to a big impact for Paul Tracy. I'm sure he was hoping, I don't know whether, you're right, it's difficult to know whether he knew there was the other front wing stuck underneath the car. There's a replay here of Oriol Servier coming through in the lead. And we'll look at the back of the picture. Here comes Bruno Junqueira in 4th place, then Tagliani and Will Power, and behind him is PT. And look at that heavy impact with the left front of the car behind him.
Oh, wow, that was a phenomenal shunt there. Jan Halen checked up. Tristan Gormley runs in the back of him.
Nowhere to go, and poor Christian Gormley, he would have had no view of that whatsoever. All of a sudden the car sails up in front. One ball to Graham Rahal. Whoa!
Yeah, Graham got hit from behind. Obviously lost his front wing there. He might have escaped without suspension damage. He's in the pits right now. That car is being worked on, but he did hit that wall pretty hard, so it would not surprise me if there was more than just a wing damage on that Newman Haas Lanigan racing car.
Poor old PT, just another disastrous race for him, and nothing seems to be going his way this season. We're underway in the Superbike Grand Prix of Toronto, but we're under caution.
And look at the whitewash as the cars come down the front straightaway. That 25-foot start-finish line is all paint, very slippery, even though it's in a straight line, as they all funnel down into the first turn.
And you can see, as you say, James Hinchcliffe, there's huge rooster tails now. The rain has been coming down quite heavily over the last few minutes. and with no cars running at speed to dissipate that water, you can see that what is the result. This huge roost of tails, and there is Sebastian Bourdais trying to make a move on Neil Jani, but once again Neil Jani is defending that inside position, and I think he's going to be in grave danger. Well, is it going to be a moot point? No, he goes around the outside line. I don't know, that's going to be an interesting call for Tony Coleman, but look at that, it is Will Power who has taken over the lead from Ryan Dalziel, and now for Team Australia, it's Will Power in the lead, Ryan Dalziel second, Neil Jani third, Sebastian Bourdais just holding off Justin Wilson. Great stuff in Toronto.
And the biggest benefit now for Will Power is clear track. He's got no one in front of him kicking up a spray, and the spray's not even as bad as we had this morning. If the rain falls a bit more, you're going to see even more of a whitewash. So right now, these guys running very tricky conditions, considerably wetter than what it was when the track went to full course caution. So they almost have to relearn this racetrack and the grip levels all over again. This is when a driver earns his pay, Jeremy.
Isn't that a fact? Neil Jani there, he's trying all sorts of lines around here, and you can't see much there in the spray running behind Ryan Dalziel, but I fancy soon, if he's not careful, you might be seeing yellow, the black possibly, a black flag, because he's got to be careful. He's using some very defensive tactics here. Well, it would appear to be defensive tactics that you're not allowed to do in a Champ Car World Series. You're not allowed to deviate from your normal racing line. That means deemed a block. No blocking is allowed. If you are deemed to be guilty of blocking, then you'll be assessed a penalty. But here now is Jani perhaps trying to make a move there on Ryan Dalziel farther back. There he is, and it's with Dornbusch. They've collided in turn 3.
Well, look at that. Oh, wow. This is going to be an interesting situation post-race, Jeremy. They're in the third turn, and just from what we're seeing, I'm going to assume Dornbusch went for a pass that went a little bit awry, and now we see the two championship leaders in the wall, and the man third in the points that these two are fighting with is in the lead of this race. This could have huge implications for the championship.
Wow, couldn't it just? Coming into the weekend, Sebastian Bourdais and Robert Dornbusch were tied on 145 points apiece. Will Power was only 16 points behind Sebastian Bourdais on 131. Right now, Will Power, if he can maintain this advantage, will gain 31 points. The best these two guys can hope for is 8th and 9th, which is just drawn.
He really did. That was a 100% mistake on Dornbusch's part. He just went in a little bit too high.
Look at Bourdais waving his hands there in frustration. Here we are on board with Justin Wilson looking backward.
Yeah, just classic.
Looked to me like Bourdais left his brake in a little bit too late there, and Dornbusch wasn't a little bit too late, he was a lot too late.
Yeah, it was just one of those things where he's just tried to brake a little bit later than Sebastian did to try and gain some time up, but Sebastian had apparently overshot it by a little bit on his own. One more angle, slow motion, so it looks like Sebastian missed the turn-in by a little bit anyway, but at this point, Robert's already going too fast. They're on a collision course, and the inevitable. I fancy that Sebastian's probably not going to want to shake his hand after this one either, Jeremy.
I think that's going to be 2 weeks in a row. There's a big rivalry developing there, and as you say, it was they're on the podium there, and Robert Dornbusch showed absolutely superbly last week in Toronto, in just about everybody's opinion. And even if there was some blocking involved, which nobody saw on any TV monitors, it was still a great drive by Bourdais. He left Sebastian Bourdais at about a second and a half a lap in the closing stages, and still he would not, Sebastian Bourdais would not acknowledge the fact that Dornbusch had driven a great race. That was rather sad. He's at least going to limp it back to the pit lane, is Robert Dornbusch, so that should enable him to finish ahead of Sebastian Bourdais. So those two are going to be very, very close on the points leaving this event. If he can just complete another lap or two, he will finish one position ahead of Sebastian Bourdais. It looks like they're probably going to be in 8th and 9th places, and an 8th place position is worth 15 points. A win is worth 31, so that's a 16-point margin. Those two are going to be about
Oh man, I just drove so hard because we've just had so much bad luck in the last few races, so I didn't care, I just went hard, and the car was good in the wet. It was also good in the dry, went a lap longer than everyone, so yeah, stuck it to them.
Solid effort by Will Power today, going for his second win on the season.
Sebastian, tell us about what happened.
Wow, what a day. I guess that rear wing of that Magnolia Scar, but you know, it's really a shame. I think we had a great day on the dry, and it was a good show. And you know, when the rain came out, I just wasn't quite willing to risk it all. And Justin passed me, and Will passed me. You know, just congratulations to Will. Drove a great race. And then Robert made a small mistake, and that had big consequences. I know he's probably didn't done it, on purpose, but it's a shame for the championship.
It sure is. Thanks a lot. All right, let's go to Michelle.
Edmonton has a rich history in motor racing. Another chapter will be written this afternoon as the Rexall Grand Prix serves as a third and decisive encounter in the Canadian Triple Crown. Here is indeed, and is one of the flyovers taking place now. Lots of pre-race activities here, and there is the racing great Mario Andretti. He's on hand this weekend. He gives the command to start the engines, and just wonderful to see someone like Mario here. On board with Will Power, second places in the early stages here in Edmonton. On board with Team Australia, the Aussie Vineyards car of Will Power, running in second place. He's lost that lead at the very, very start. And we heard from Derek Walker perhaps why that happened, and who threw this very tricky part of the course at turns 11 and 12, James.
Yeah, here we are. We're rocking up the back section of the track here. This is that very fast chicane I was talking about. Look at the hands, look at the bumps that the drivers have to go through. The camera really does not do it justice. You cross back across the track now, heading down into the first corner. It's a long entry. You're turning for quite a while, and it's just one corner of a very technical, very physically demanding racetrack here in Edmonton.
So on board still with Will Power, he's chasing Sebastian Bourdais. Did Sebastian make a little bit of a mistake down there? It looked like he got a little bit closer going into turn 7. These corners here, just quicker and quicker and quicker, leading onto this back straight.
They do get progressively quicker and progressively bumpier, which makes it all the more difficult. Now this is the turn 10 corner we're heading into, just to give you a perspective on the track here. And this is this is the important corner to get a good run off of. This is 11 and 12. You carry a lot of speed in here, try and keep the minimum up, and then back to power as early and as hard as you can, because it's essentially flat out from here now all the way down to the first corner. But just watch the bumps again through this section. You can see it, you can hear it even. You can hear the car bottoming out, and you have to be very careful about how low you set this car up, because of course ride heights being a very key setup point on these DP01 chassis. So through the quick 2-3 chicane, back again across the track for turn 4, a bit of a compression, very quick. This is a very physically tough part of this track, and because it's so busy, you've got 9 corners pretty much consecutive without a straightaway to rest yourself. And with the kind of downforce that these Champ cars produce, that is incredibly physically demanding, and they have to do that for an hour and 45 minutes straight. And let me tell you, Jeremy, that is no mean feat. and he will dive into the pits this time, and your leader is now in the pit lane. This is going to be the one that calls it all.
And Rick de Brule is in the Newman Haas Lanigan Racing pit.
They were on the radio to him beforehand saying, come make one really killer lap before you get in here. In terms of adjustments, all they've done is change some tire pressure. Everything else is solid. A good long fuel stop, and he's on his way.
On the pit lane, speed limiter all the way down the pit lane. That feels like you're hardly moving at all there. But Sébastien Bourdais, I think that strategy is going to pull him out into the lead of the race. Justin Wilson did emerge ahead of Will Power. Whoa, there's a sideways side. Sébastien Bourdais, he wants to get back out on the racetrack ASAP, James.
He does, and he wants to get those Bridgestone tires up to temperature because, as you said, Jeremy, no tire warmers here. And you saw in the background, Justin Wilson, the red number 9 CDW car, is in the background. So a fantastic call from the Newman Haas Lanigan guys, and brilliant driving from Sébastien Bourdais to A, save that fuel in the first stint, and B, to be able to lay down those quick laps when it mattered. He now finds himself back out in the lead of this race. That was just fantastic bit of racing.
And I fancy Graham Rahal might have moved up as well. We'll have to wait and see till they all cycle past the finish line one more time. But this on board with Justin Wilson, and you can see there's a pretty goodly margin ahead to Sébastien Bourdais. Where's Will Power? Oh, here is Will Power. Okay, I was going to say, where's Will? Time for another pit stop. This will be his final pit stop of the day. Great on board, great shots there from Les Chanet. They're going to make a change to the front of this car, aren't they? They're going to take the shock cover. Oh, he's turned off the engine. So, oh dear, what a disaster for Team Australia and Will Power.
Heartbreak here. This is a bit shocking actually for the team because they are showing off their shock and spring package right now with this camera. They probably didn't realize that that camera was on. That's not something they want other teams to see, but they backed off that now. Something down in the footwell, it looks like. They're looking at the rockers on the front of the car. I don't know if maybe Will made slight contact somewhere or what, but certainly there's something not right in the steering. As you can see, they may be looking in the steering rack. There's all sorts of components at the front that could go wrong, and if you have something broken there at a track like this, that could end in a serious accident. So smart move on them to bring it in and check out the car.
Heartbreak for Will Power and Team Australia. The Aussie Vineyard team are looking to clinch the Canadian Triple Crown. They came here this weekend poised to win it. They have an average finishing position of 3.0 for their two drivers, Will Power and Simon Pagenaud. But now it looks like Will Power will not finish this race, or even if he does, he'll be a long way back. We've got just under half an hour to go, and we're under yellow again here in Edmonton. So we're now gone under caution here at the Rexall Grand Prix of Edmonton. Don't yet know. Well, yes,
Robert Dornbosch has stopped. It doesn't look like he's hit anything, but he has stopped at what looks like heading into the 11-12 chicane. Sorry, the 13-14 chicane right in front of pit in there. Obviously, he's a bit upset, waving his hands there. Visor is up. He does need a push. When the drivers put their visor up, that's the universal sign of the safety car that their motor is dead. They need assistance. And, this is not good news for another one of the championship contenders.
And minus 0.005, the 30.4 on the steering wheel. 32 gallons of fuel that they use in these cars these days.
Got a 7-second gap as the white flag. Well, I guess they don't use the white flag anymore. The one finger is waved. 1 lap to go here at the Rexall Grand Prix of Edmonton. It looks like Sébastien Bourdais will have this one in the bag.
Certainly, Alex Figge has done a nice job for the Pacific Coast Motorsports team. That's in the car number 29, but it's all about this man, isn't it? Sébastien Bourdais. No need to take any chances now. He's got a huge lead. Almost 6 seconds. It's come down a little bit, certainly over the last few laps, and Justin Wilson is now using his Cosworth power to pass, maybe trying to wrest away that fastest lap. Who knows? There's a bunch of guys using it farther down the field as well, and it's still that battle there for Bruno Junqueira trying to get past the two Forsyth Championship Racing cars. It's Sébastien Bourdais settled in here behind Alex Figge. He'll be looking in his mirrors somewhat nervously, I'm sure, but I think it's still a pretty large gap back to Justin Wilson. And now just 2 corners to go for Sébastien Bourdais. Absolutely remarkable. This is his 67th start, and Sébastien Bourdais, there are the twin checkered flags. That is win number 27 for Sébastien Bourdais out of just 67 starts. An amazing win percentage. It's well over, it's just absolutely remarkable what he has achieved. Almost 40% of his races, he ends up in the victory lane. That's exactly what he's done again this afternoon. Wilson finishes third, Rahal in fourth, and here comes Simon Pagenaud for Team Australia, and he comes home with what would appear to be a fourth place finish and an excellent run by the Frenchman, or by both the Frenchmen. The Frenchman wins the race, that is Sebastien Bourdais, and his protege Simon Pagenaud, whom Sebastien helped to get into the Champ Car Atlantic Championship last year, comes home with a fourth place finish. But it's Sebastien Bourdais. He this afternoon is number one here in Edmonton.
There are all sorts of people in the army. To find out more, text ARMY to 61110 for your free DVD.
Announcing a new breakthrough in dishwashing. The first Finish all-in-one dishwashing tablet. With 10 power actions for outstanding cleaning power to break through even the toughest stains. And is now proven to give a better clean than any other all-in-one tab. New Finish all-in-one, the #1 recommended brand.
Why do you need twice the power for daily cleaning? New Sillet Bang Grime and Lime, now twice as powerful on soap scum. Let's see the bath test. New Sillet Bang is more powerful than cream cleaners. Look, less scrubbing than cream cleaners. Look at the proof. On everyday bathroom lime scale, new Bang and it's gone. Try this power in your bath, in your kitchen, even on rust. Try it round your home and make everyday cleaning easy. New Bang with twice the power. Bang and the dirt is gone.
Long Way Down, the DVD. The fantastic follow-up to our incredible trip, The Long Way Round. This time, experience our amazing adventure from John O'Groats to Cape Town. 15,000 miles, spectacular scenery, unforgiving terrain, and extraordinary people. A 2-disc set of the brand new series, including unseen and extended footage. Long Way Down, the DVD, out now.
This is San Jose in California, round 9 of the season. And on pole position, Justin Wilson of Great Britain in front of defending champion Frenchman Sebastien Bourdais. They're ahead of the surprisingly quick Dan Clark in third place on the grid. Well, it's all incredibly tight coming into round 9 of the season. The top 4 in the standings, separated by a mere 29 points, is Sebastien Bourdais on top of the pile. While we can see how it all shaped up in San Jose, we'll head down to the start and the first laps of the race. And stay tuned, because a lot's going to happen.
Sebastien Bourdais, he got the lead away from the start, and exactly what Justin Wilson did not want, and a traffic jam at the back of the field. There's that Neil Charney there with a problem, and also Robert Doornbos. Looks like he's lost the nose on that car. It's actually on the top there, I think, of Jan Halen's car. So a disaster for Robert Doornbos. He was leading a championship a couple of weeks ago, and now it's all gone wrong on the very first lap.
That was a very hectic start. We saw cars 3 wide into the hairpin here, and that is not easy to do, let me tell you. That is a very tight corner, and Robert Doornbos, I think he just got so caught up that his car probably just stalled. I mean, they were going so slow at that point. This will have to bring out a full course caution, although it's not out yet. They might actually try and get him jump-started before the field comes around and avoid it, but it's going to be touch and go with such a short lap. And yes, the yellow flag has just come out. We are under caution.
Yeah, they tried desperately there to keep it from going full course caution, and these guys in the Holmetro safety crew get as quick as they possibly can. But now here is Justin Wilson coming into the turn 1 the chicane there, the Toyota hairpin, I should say, on the very first or the second lap now. But you can see he did make the best of the start. He got away ahead of Sebastian Bourdais, who I think has stalled it coming out of the hairpin now on under full course caution. James,
what is that? It's rolling again. I have no idea what's just happened there, Jeremy. And I don't know if he'll be able to take his spot back. I think he's legitimately lost those positions now.
I would say so. I mean, you know, I don't. That's going to. We'll have to have a look and see here what happened. This is the result. This is what happened on the very first lap of the race, and you can see that Robert Doornbos rides up onto the top of Jan Heijlen's car. Well, Jan Heijlen's had absolutely no luck whatsoever this season. Catherine Legg is bottled up behind there as well, and it was. Yes, Sebastian Bourdais did take the lead at the start. I thought he did. Yeah. But Justin Wilson had got that lead back by the end of that first lap. But here's this kerfuffle at the back there, and there is Robert Doornbos. I think, as you say, the car's going so slowly there, just wasn't able to keep the turbo spinning, keep the engine, getting enough revs to make any horsepower, and he stalls that engine, and he is now already gone one lap down. But then on that next lap, the big story there was Sebastian Bourdais. We saw him take the lead at the start, but it was definitely Justin Wilson that came around at the end of lap 1 in the lead of the race, and then under caution there up at the hairpin, coming out of the hairpin, that engine just would not pick up at all, and Sebastian Bourdais has fallen back to 8th place, James.
Very, very bizarre. I mean, he got a stellar launch. He actually was well ahead of Justin by the time they got to the brake zone for turn 1, and was just not able to hold on to it. So, under caution right now, Justin Wilson leads here in San Jose.
So still under caution here in San Jose. Look at Jan Heijlen there in a Conquest Racing car. That is the nose cone of Robert Doornbos, perched very precariously over the engine cover of Jan Heijlen's car. The pits were closed, of course, as they always are when we go to full course caution. I'm sure they'll be opened up this time around. And as we've just seen the green light flash on here on our timing and scoring, so the pits are now open. Jan Heijlen will come onto pit lane. You always like as much downforce as you can on these cars, but not quite to that extent, James.
Yeah, normally you can't do anything too creative with the aerodynamics here, and obviously they're going to have to come in. As you see him diving into the pits now, he's got to get that wing off there. If I were him, I would have been shaking back and forth, left and right, trying to just shake it loose and save yourself having to come into the pits, but unfortunately that's not the case. We see another car dive in, Robert Doornbos, of course, coming in for the new front wing that we see attached to the back of Jan Heijlen's car.
That is exactly right, so he is onto pit lane as well, and there's... it may not be all bad news for these guys. Generally, we're looking at a 3 pit stop race this afternoon to get a complete new nose section on that car number 14, the Ausjet car of Robert Doornbos. But, we reckon with about maybe 12 laps of caution, that will be enough to make it a 2 pit stop race for the contenders if they're running without saving too much fuel. So, it's certainly early stage. We've only had a couple of laps of yellow at this stage, so it's certainly not enough to make this become a 2 pit stop race as opposed to a 3 pit stop race, used on the green flag conditions. But still, Jan Heijlen and Robert Doornbos are going to be able to come in here, take on a little bit extra fuel, and maybe run a little bit longer before they need fuel for their first scheduled stop, which we're anticipating around about somewhere between laps 28 and 33. Robert Doornbos, it appears, did not lose a lap, so great work there by the Homotrace safety car crew, and they're able to get him back on track without losing that lap, James.
Yeah, that was very key for him, and they're coming down now towards the final corner. And of course, his red back corner. And no, there's something stuck under Dan Clark's car.
Here's a replay. We saw Justin Wilson lose the lead at the start, but that was at turn 2. Sebastian Bourdais left his braking a little bit too late, understeered right. Justin Wilson said thank you very much. But now Dan Clark has folded up, front wing has folded up beneath him. We must assume he must have had contact with the rear of Justin Wilson's car.
It must have been in the first corner, Jim. We saw a few cars getting quite in there, but we've got a full course caution again. We had just gone back to green flag racing, and we've got reports that Justin Wilson may be slow on the racetrack. Another bizarre. Bill Stevens in the pits.
Guys, it's just pandemonium down here in the Minardi pit. They just got through servicing Doornbos' car and putting a new nose on that, and moments later now they're having to do the same thing with Dan Clark. On Doornbos' car, they checked the suspension. They found there was nothing structurally wrong with it. They sent him away. They're hopeful that that's the same case with Dan's car.
And look at this, poor Justin Wilson. He took the pole. He was looking good at the front of the field. He got the lead back from Sebastian Bourdais after losing it initially at the start. But now he's just coasting down the pit lane, and his CDW crew have got to run all the way back down here now, push him into his pit stall. This is going to be losing him an awful lot of time.
This is just so bizarre. The top 3 starters have all hit drama in the first 3 laps of the race. Sebastian Bourdais going wide in the second corner rather after taking the lead, and then having a mysterious car failure temporarily, then got going again. Dan Clark's wing has gone under his car, and he must have had contact with this man, Justin Wilson, who's now in the pit.
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be any damage to Justin's car, so maybe it just cut out for some reason, and that Dan Clark had nowhere to go, but it would appear there's no damage to the back end of this car, at least a cursory inspection from the pit lane. But in the meantime, we're getting ready. Let's have a look here as they come out of turn 6 there. Justin Wilson is coming out of the corner. You expect him to accelerate there. He clearly doesn't, and Dan Clark just gets into the back of it.
I think you're right, Jeremy. I think something happened on the CDW car. He just slowed up, and I know he does have right rear suspension damage there for sure.
It's flashback time. Let's have a look at what happened last year and a run-in between Paul Tracy and Alex Tagliani. Well, after the collision, both men fought on their way back to the pits. Amazing pictures. Well, we can head back to the 2007 race and an equally amazing performance from Dornbos.
But behind Justin Wilson there is car number 14, that is Robert Dornbos, and as we speculated a little while ago, the strategy appears to be playing out in his favour. Dornbos leads from Neil Jarni and Oriol Servia. We're under caution in San Jose, less than half an hour to go. This is the man who's just put on a clinic this afternoon. He's just taken full advantage of the fact that you never give up in the Champ Car World Series. You never know what's going to happen. There's all sorts of strategy to be played out, but you've got to take advantage of that strategy, and that is what Robert Dornbos has done. His lead now over Neil Jarni in second place, already up to 4.5 seconds, and about 3 minutes to go. There's probably just 3 laps to go in this race, and that is the lead that Robert Dornbos has over this group here. We've got Neil Jarni in second place, Oriol Servia in third, and Will Power, Sebastian Bourdais and Graham Rahal all in a train. A little bit of a gap back to Bruno Junqueira. Behind Bruno Junqueira is Pagenaud and Tristan Gourmandi. Jan Halen is in the final car on the lead lap. Paul Tracy, having run out of fuel just disastrously for him, he's shown in 11th, having completed 101 laps. Now Dominguez, he's still running another lap behind PT in 12th place, and then behind them are Alex Figge, Alex Tagliani, and potentially Justin Wilson, who's going to leapfrog up a couple of places in the very final stages of this race. There is that battle between Simon Pagenaud and Tristan Gourmandi, the two Frenchmen battling over 8th and 9th. Quite a battle there, two Frenchmen there, and Tristan Gourmandi, he was absolutely incensed that he got that drive-through penalty, and without the pit lane radio, the radio communication didn't know what it was, but there is that pass for position. You can see Pagenaud there on the red sidewall tyres, and Neil Jarni also is on the red sidewall tyres. The race leader Robert Dornbos is on the blacks, as is Tristan Gourmandi, and it seems like the black tyres, as most of the teams thought they would be the hot ticket for the long runs in this very warm conditions in San Jose.
And that's exactly what we just saw. That was pretty much a battle of the tyres there. Pagenaud on the reds, quicker over one lap, but deteriorate, and the pace falls off more over a long stint. Gourmandi also with a quick car, but with the more consistent tire, was able to, in the final laps of this race, just get a good run on Simone and make the move down into the first corner. So that will lift him up into the 8th position. Pagenaud relegated down to 9th. Jan Halen still running 10th for Conquest. Another top 10 finish on the cards for him, which is very, very good considering, again, caught up in a first turn incident.
And there's a couple of guys turning quick laps here in the closing stages. Oriol Servia has just turned his best lap of the race in 3rd position, as has Bruno Junqueira in 7th place. Bruno just had a 50.230. That's the 4th fastest lap of the race for Dale Coyne Racing. But here is Robert Dornbos here, just one lap to go. There is that one finger signal. One more lap. There's very calmly Michael Cannon over the radio to his charge. This man, Robert Dornbos.
You gotta love that guy. I got a little bit of a chance to get to know him last year when he was running with Forsyth, when he was working for Forsyth. I was running for Forsyth, and he's a phenomenal man. Is Michael Cannon, incredibly gifted as an engineer, very intelligent, and just a great personality as well. So he has done his job to perfection today, as has his driver. But there's still a battle battle being waged on track between two championship contenders fighting over the 4th position.
Yeah, we saw earlier in the race it was Will Power who made a move on Sebastian Bourdais, but here is Robert Doornbos. He comes down into turn 6 at one last time. The blue coat corner, down the final straightaway here into Redback corner, a right-hand turn here into second gear. He'll come up through the gearbox. The checkered flags are awaiting, and there they are. Robert Doornbos, the second win of his career. Absolutely remarkable record that he has eked out since joining the Champ Car World Series this year. He's had just podium finish after podium finish. This will be his 6th podium in just 9 starts. A remarkable record for Robert Doornbos. Actually, a better overall average than even Sebastian Bourdais, who holds just about any record that can be held in the Champ Car World Series, considering how short a time he's been in this championship. But that was just a brilliant performance by this entire team, but particularly hats off to Robert Doornbos for a great drive. He turned it on when he had to.
Robert Doornbos taking his 2nd win of the season over Neil Johnny and Oriol Servia. A bit of an unpredictable podium here. I don't think too many people would have called that one when the green flag fell on this race. Will Power finishing 4th ahead of Sebastian Bourdais, was not gaining back as many points as he would have liked. And Graham Rahal, impressive to come back to 6th after that rookie mistake stalling in the pits.
Yeah, that's right. He was running strongly in the early stages, had a certainly up and down weekend, 2 crashes on Friday, but to come away with a top 6 finish, he'll be delighted with that. And Paul Tracy in 11th, the confirmation that Justin Wilson did get up to 13th, so 2 valuable championship points. Here is Robert Doornbos, and Cameron Steele is with our race winner.
Well, it looks like an exhausted Robert Doornbos. We have Paul Stoddard down here, Keith Wiggins and team owners congratulating him. Robert, would you have ever thought coming from 15th position you would have brought home the checkers today?
Do you like that? Do you like that? I like it. What a race, man. What a race. Thanks to all the boys. I mean, the car was great. It's so much bad luck the whole weekend, so I'm really, really happy now.
What about with the accident early in the race? What happened? The chaos ensues. The checkered flags are waving. My questions at this point are meaningless as the champagne is flying and he is going crowd surfing with the team. That's how Bobby D rocks it in victory lane.
Bobby D. Robert Doornbos, a brilliant effort by him. That was just a tremendous try. Thanks, Cameron Steele. And he's a real character, this Robert Doornbos. Really not very particularly well known at all, but he's done an excellent job this afternoon and deservedly coming away with his 2nd victory of the campaign. And now he's going to cement his 2nd position in the championship. And Cameron Steele.
All right, well, we got back over here with Robert Doornbos. We were calling you Bobby D. The accident in the first lap. What happened? Talk to us about it.
I knew it when we had such a bad qualifying. Basically, we couldn't run at all in quali, and then we start from the back. And you know you're in trouble then in the tight hairpin like that. So I was stopped. I was standing still, and still I hit somebody and I climbed over somebody. And I mean, we got back to the pits, changed the nose, and then the car just felt good. I mean, the steering angle was bent, so I was on the straight, a bit leaning to the left. But I saw Yanni struggle. I passed him, and this was mine. I feel it. So it's a great way to finish 2 bad weekends.
Congratulations, there you have it. Bobby D rocking home the gold trophy.
Certainly it is 6th top 5 finish of the season, and Will Power said going into this campaign, if he could minimise his errors, maybe he could go for the championship, and that certainly is on his mind for Team Australia this afternoon, and it's been a tremendous run for him. My thanks to all of our international viewers joining us today. And it's been a tremendous effort, I think, this afternoon. Just a great race. We saw Justin Wilson lose the lead to Sebastian Bourdais at the start. We've seen all sorts of dramas here, back and forth battles. But it's been Robert Doornbos that comes away with a magnificent victory in San Jose. Thank you to all our international viewers joining us today. For James Hinchcliffe, I'm Jeremy Shaw. Join us for round 10 of the Champ Car World Series, Road America, on Sunday, August 12th. Be sure to check your local listings for broadcast times. Thanks for joining us here. It's been a great race this afternoon. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time.
The final race in the WRC production class comes your way this Tuesday, December the 11th on Motors TV. From 7:30, we'll head to the Rally GB for a full report from the final round of what has been a hotly contested season, the Rally of Great Britain.
There are all sorts of people in the army. Discover more about yourself with the Army Pathfinder at armyjobs.mod.uk.
Oh, I can't think what to give Cinderella for Christmas.
Oh, yes you can.
But I want to give Cinderella something special.
Use eBay, dear.
eBay, but...
Now, just tell eBay all the things that you know Cinderella loves best.
Oh, well, anything yellow, obviously. But really, there's nothing she likes more than 60s retro stuff. Oh, perfect.
Jack, what are you doing?
Oh, nothing.
Sky Broadband is here. To get the most out of Sky with Sky Broadband, visit sky.com/broadband.
Bertolli. Enjoy the goodness of the olive tree every day.
When Cinderella sees her Christmas present, she's gonna flip!
Oh, did you get her some hair straighteners?
No, I went on eBay, and I got it so right.
Jack, love.
I told eBay all the things I know she loves.
Jack!
And eureka! I found something so her. It's a...
Jack!
What?
She's behind you!
Oh.
On motorstv.co.uk you'll find the complete Motors TV programme lineup. The shows, the times and the frequency of the reruns. Check out the day's schedule by hour or keyword. You can also access all the content for the week. Check out motorstv.co.uk, the site of Motors TV.
Follow every round of the Trophy Andros in December and January on Motors TV. Welcome back to the Champ Car season review and on to round 10 in Road America. Sebastian Bourdais with a 10-point lead from Robert Doornbos after round 9. Well, on the starting grid for round 10, Sebastian Bourdais 1.6 seconds quicker than his closest rival during qualifying. Absolutely amazing stuff. Just 2 days before this race, we learned that the Frenchman had been recruited by Scuderia Toro Rosso to be a Formula 1 driver for the 2008 season. Sebastian Bourdais chasing his 4th consecutive Champ Car title. But an awful lot going on both on and off the track for Bourdais. It doesn't look like he's been affected in qualifying that 1.6 second margin. But how would he cope with all that additional pressure and stress and the desire to leave Champ Car on a positive note? Well, we'd find out at the start of the race, round 10, Road America, the 2007 Champ Car season. And Sebastian Bourdais in the familiar position of starting a race out in front.
Textbook start from Sebastian Bourdais was very close at the back of the field. You saw the two Forsyth Championship racing cars appear to be side by side coming off turn 1, plunging downhill into turn 3. Somebody stalled on the grid. I think it was one of the PCM cars, perhaps Alex Figge towards the back of the pack, but everybody else got through cleanly. On board here with Justin Wilson, that is Tristan Gomedy making the move down the outside, or it'll be the inside line going to turn 5, James.
Very downhill braking into turn 5. The draft down these straightaways as we see 3 wide here, 3 wide, and there's contact. Both Forsyth cars, a PCM car, a Forsyth car, and of course it's Pagenaud in the Team Australia car.
Yeah, and looks like Ryan Dalziel is going to come off worse. I'm pretty sure we're going to go full course trailer. There is confirmation the pits will be closed, and that is just. You could see it coming up, couldn't you, James? You have 3 abreast down into turn 5, and that ain't going to work, is it?
It really isn't. But the thing about Road America is with these long straights, a fantastic draft you get as we go to a replay here. It's just so inviting. And you see Pagenaud tries to make it 3 wide there. Tracy just stuck in the middle. Sorry, Ryan Dalziel just stuck in the middle. Really has nowhere to go. And ultimately, I think that was just Pagenaud being a little bit too aggressive on the first lap there.
Yeah, he was so disappointed to qualify way back on the grid. I don't think he made a particularly good start either. Well, he can't have done because he was trying to pass Paul Tracy, who certainly started behind him on the grid. And as you say, just I think a little bit too impetuous there from the Frenchman. This race 1 year ago, this event 1 year ago, he clinched the Atlantic Championship and the $2 million prize that enabled him to get a ride this year with Walker Racing Team Australia. And this was his worst qualifying performances of the season for Simon Pagenaud. I think trying to make up too much ground too early here in the Generac Grand Prix of Road America. Here is Dan Clark. There he goes. So the stop is completed for Dan Clark. Speedy Dan Clark. He's been very speedy this afternoon and he's saved some fuel as well. Let's see where he comes out in relation to the other front runners. There go a couple of them. He comes out ahead of Robert Doornbos. So the 2 Minardi Team USA cars. Dan Clark, he's on cold tires, remember. So Robert Doornbos has to take advantage going down into turn 3 and does exactly that. And Graham Rahal is also going to try and take advantage of that fact as well. Dan Clark slotted in there between these 2 cars, and now though Graham Rahal's got a big run down the hill towards turn 5 and has the preferred inside line, but look at the tone they get. Oh my goodness, as Dan Clark dives to the inside. Great racing, James.
That was such a difficult position for Dan Clark. He was absolutely snookered. He was stuck. He had a great draft on Robert Doornbos's. Graham Rahal looks on the inside of turn 6. Very difficult place to pull off a move. Dan, he had the draft from Robert Doornbos, but Graham was right beside him. He could not do anything with it and was actually quite forceful. Pushed Rahal over to the side a little bit and kind of said, look, I'm going to go for it. And on cold tires, I must say I'm incredibly impressed that he's held off Graham and even tried to take a stab at his teammate there.
No love lost between these 2 contenders here, Dan Clark and Graham Rahal. Think back to the very first race of the season. Graham Rahal making his Champ Car debut at Las Vegas, away from the start line. It was a rolling start, you remember, in Las Vegas. But Dan Clark moved across the track, according to Graham Rahal, and pushed him into the wall as they took the green flag. But now Rahal looks down to the inside of Canada corner.
He's going to go wide. I think there may have been a little bit of contact there, but it seems like both cars have gotten away with it. That was very, very close. Graham was extremely late on the brakes. That was a very bold move, but I must say he pulled it off with class. That could not have been pulled off by a lot of drivers. Very heads-up stuff from Graham Rahal.
That was a remarkable move, wasn't it, by Graham Rahal? He knew he had to seize that opportunity. Dan Clark still working to get those tyres up to temperature, up to their optimal working temperature, and he knew he had to seize the opportunity, and he's done exactly that. But look at that in the background there. It's Oriol Serbia for Forsyth Championship Racing. He's come up from 14th on the grid, and he's now running in 5th position. So it's Sebastian Bourdais who leads here, and there is that battle between the Minardi Team USA cars, and it is Robert
Doornbos. That's Doornbos.
Dan Clark had got past him there, and Robert Doornbos misjudged his approach to turn 5.
Okay, let me try and break this one down for you. As you can see, the front wing stuck under the car, under the nose of that car. Dan Clark had got on the power to pass out of corner 3, got a great run. As you can see, he's trying to swerve and get the wing out. That's not going to help. Oh, this is just really unfortunate for one of the championship contenders. So heading down into turn 5, Dan had gotten a great run, had made the pass, had made it so well he got completely past Robert Doornbos. As Robert Doornbos runs off.
That's one way of getting rid of the debris.
Yeah, it's one way of doing it. Maybe not to the likes of the guys behind him who now shattered in carbon fiber bits. So Dan had been completely past him to the point where Robert then pulled back in line to try and get the draft again and just misjudged the braking, Jeremy, and ran right over the back of Dan's car. The question now is whether or not Dan's car is damaged at all, and you can see through the carousel Robert Doornbos having to go so slow with no front wing, holding up Jan Halen and Tristan Gomedy, who are racing for position.
And now through the kick there, that's going to be dodgy without a front wing on that car, so that will enable also Alex Figge, who's doing a nice job this afternoon for the Pacific Coast Motorsport team. Bit of a call for Alex there as he sneaks alongside and he makes the pass. Was it? Yeah, there is Figge going past, and as you can see Robert Doornbos. It certainly looked like, I don't think you could pin any blame on that incident between these two Minardi Team USA cars on Dan Clark. It was Robert Doornbos, I would say, certainly from my first look at it, who made the misjudgment going into that corner. He passed again there by Bruno Junqueira, and now we'll see Robert Doornbos on pit lane.
I'd love to see a replay of that, just kind of see exactly how it all broke down and the kind of time frame of what happened. But ultimately, Jeremy, yeah, it's one of the things where, you know, the guy ask any insurance company, the guy who hits from the back, he's pretty much guilty as charged. So Robert Doornbos is going to come in now, pit for a wing, but this has really ruined his afternoon.
So there is Robert Doornbos. He brings that car onto pit lane. The guys will go to work.
Just hang out here. Mark, a good long vent will pack and full of fuel nicely. Thank you.
Cameron Steele
is guys, down here in the pit. You can see frustration in Robert Doornbos' face, ripping his tear-offs off his helmet and throwing him to the side. They're working on getting the nose cone replaced. It looks like they took a look at a couple other items on the car. No other damage, it doesn't seem like, but it's taken some time to get this done, and unfortunately a frustrating moment for Doornbos.
Intense frustration there, and as we saw 2 weeks ago in San Jose, the onus is on the guy behind. In that case, it was Dan Clark. This time, the boot was on the other foot as the other Minardi Team USA cars.
Well, you're on setup out.
A problem for one of the Team Australia cars, that is Will Power, the other championship contender. So Robert Doornbos just been in the pits, and now an unscheduled pit stop for Will Power. This is exactly what Sebastian Bourdais needs in his quest to win a 4th consecutive championship.
Not only are these guys both out, Sebastian is out in front by quite a margin, although Graham Rahal is running very, very quick, slightly quicker than Sebastian at this point of the race. So Graham Rahal is looking extremely racy, as we've seen, extremely quick, but Sebastian Bourdais is sitting very pretty in the overall championship picture right now.
Oh boy, isn't he just. So problems here. Yeah, so some sort of electrical problem. That was Derek Walker on the radio there saying change the electronic control unit on the cars, the engine management system, and it's just a disaster for Les Shannon and the boys there on that car. But here's again a replay of that action. You can see there that Robert Doornbos just left his braking way too late. It looked like going down into turn 5, James.
It's such an easy trap to get into when Dana had such a good run and managed to get all the way past him. And then here's again a replay of him running off. Of course, the car understeering greatly with a front wing stuck underneath it. Just ask Paul Tracy. He experienced something similar in Toronto this year. So here it is. He just misjudged the braking, tried to go down a little bit too late. And you know, Dan is so lucky his car did not get any damage.
Not even a puncture?
And I can say there's no damage because the last lap that he completed, he was only 1/100th slower than Graham Rahal. So he's still very much on the pace. Knowing Sebastian, he still has 30 seconds left in his Cosworth power to pass. And yes, actually, you can see he's on it right now. He probably is going to try to make his last lap the fastest lap of the race. Very Sebastian Bourdais, really stamp his authority down.
Yeah, and Robert Doornbos has just actually done a 1 minute 44.508, which was within a couple of tenths of a second of Sebastian Bourdais' best. So we heard he was going out there, out of the pits, trying to get that fastest lap bonus championship point. And there again, look at that flashing red light at the back of the Newman Haas Racing car.
He's on it again, and with 300 extra RPM, 50 extra horsepower down these long straights of Road America, he is going to gain a lot of time. He's now on the brakes into corner 5, and he still has 10 seconds left, Jeremy. That means he's got one shot left for that final straight down the Canada corner. I reckon that this is going to be one incredible lap time.
Yeah, he's looking at a potential qualifying lap here with Sebastian Bourdais. We saw yesterday how devastating he was in qualifying. Took the pole with a 1 minute 41.535. That was absolutely astonishing. Just left everybody firmly in their wake. The fastest lap record here is a 1:44.133. So that's just a 0.2 of a second away from that now is Sebastian Bourdais, and he's on the Cosworth power to pass, we believe, going down the back straight through the kick there at about 170 miles an hour, building up to 190 on Kettle Bottoms before he gets heavily on the anchors here for Canada corner. Turn 12, right-handed there. Up the hill one more, up through the gears, through the kink there. Left-handed under where the Billy Mitchell Bridge used to be. Now that huge runoff area. Great job here at Road America. Down onto the brakes again for the final corner. Turn 14. It's Sebastian Bourdais. It's been his weekend. He's looking for his 4th consecutive championship, and he's got his 4th win of the season, his 5th win of the season now for Sebastian Bourdais. Jubilation in the Newman House Lanigan Racing Pit, and look at that, a new fastest lap as well, a 1:44.346 for Sebastian Bourdais. We saw Paul Newman on the pit wall. There is a celebratory fireworks after another imperious performance by our champion Sebastian Bourdais.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Merci. Muchísimas gracias. Merci.
Why do you need twice the power for daily cleaning? New Sillet Bang Grime and Lime, now twice as powerful on soap scum. Let's see the bath test. New Sillet Bang is more powerful than cream cleaners. Look, less scrubbing than cream cleaners. Look at the proof. On everyday bathroom lime scale, new Bang and it's gone. Try this power in your bath, in your kitchen, even on rust. Try it round your home and make everyday cleaning easy. New Bang with twice the power. Bang and the dirt is gone.
Long Way Down, the DVD. The fantastic follow-up to our incredible trip, The Long Way Round. This time, experience our amazing adventure from John O'Groats to Cape Town. 15,000 miles, spectacular scenery, unforgiving terrain, and extraordinary people. A 2-disc set of the brand new series, including unseen and extended footage. Long Way Down, the DVD, out now.
Well, after round 10 of the season at Road America, the Champ Car Series packed up its bags in late August for the trip to Europe, racing on the old continent for the first time since 2003. And the man most came out to see was the 3-time Vanderbilt Trophy winner, France's Sebastian Bourdais. Unquestionably the star of this first European race of the season, run at Zolder in Belgium. And numerous supporters made the trip over from France, Belgium and elsewhere to see the current championship leader and future Formula 1 driver. 2 weeks earlier it was announced that Bourdais would race for Toro Rosso in 2008, and that added to the buzz at Zolder between Champ Car's return to Europe and Bourdais' newfound notoriety. This Belgian round naturally took on great importance.
It's like a Cleveland thing.
The man himself is more than aware of it, although he's already hard at work with his race engineer working on the detailed plans.
So if you trust it, it's alright. You can feel it. Oh, yeah. Ça, c'est bien. Quand t'as 4 dixièmes d'avance sur les meilleurs speeds, ça, c'est bien. Je crois que la magie de Champ Car, entre guillemets, fait son effet ici.
Well, I believe the Champ Car magic has done its job here. There are a lot of people who are nostalgic for the days when Formula 1 raced at Zolder, and those who come up to get close and personal with the drivers, take photos, asking for autographs and experience all the action up close. A lot of people have grown frustrated with F1. There's a public for both series, but here it's different. There was the F1 announcement that has also put the spotlight on me a little more, for sure. I've had to do a lot of media stuff the past few days, which has taken up a lot of my time. F1, nothing more than just the name, has brought me something. It's something you can't escape from.
Ça amène un petit cachet à l'histoire, donc on peut pas y échapper.
Well, Sebastian can't escape the work that needs to be done either to prepare for a Champ Car race. Craig Hampson has been Sebastian's engineer ever since he arrived in the States, and he knows better than anyone what Sebastian has brought to the team and what he means to Newman Haas Lanigan.
He's a really hard worker. He really works at his craft. He studies the data. He thinks about the setup. He reads every report I write and I send to him. And we appreciate that, particularly within a team like Newman Haas Lanigan, where we pride ourselves on our engineering and the setup of the car. So he fits in very well with the way we approach our motor racing. And he's a good guy. He's an inherently good human being. He takes good care of the crew. Every time we win, he takes us all out to dinner. And I think that costs him a lot of money. But you know, he makes gestures like that make it known that we, and from me down to the truck drivers, the mechanics, everybody, makes it known that he appreciates us, and we appreciate that. It's been really special, you know, and we're sad to see him go, because without him we might not win as many races, and it's been a good working relationship. But on the other hand, I think everybody within the team feels like he deserves the chance to be in Formula One. And at the beginning of his career with us, we were all really confused why he wasn't in Formula One, because he seemed good enough to be there, and it's nice to see him get an opportunity now.
Well, while waiting to start his Formula One career, Sebastian still had 4 races to close out his Champ Car career. It's clear that he's the man to beat every race. His closest rivals know they have a long way to go to match the performances of Bourdais and his trusty team.
I think it's a good team. It's the underdog compared to Newman Haas. We know that we still have a lot to learn compared to Sebastian and his team. They won many championships, 100 victories, and but yeah, we're doing a good job and we're enjoying it. That's the best thing.
I think Sebastian leaving is, I think that he's got a lot of experience in Champ Car, so he's at the moment very tough to beat. I mean, I'm only in my 2nd year, and he's been in the same team for 5 years with the same guys, same engineer, same engine, tyre, Champ Car. The cars haven't changed that much, so I think his experience does him a lot of good. And yeah, I'm for sure next year I think it's going to be a very tight title fight. You're going to have a lot of guys who are, in their 2nd year, and they're also teams in the 2nd year of this car. So I think that next year will be one of the tightest years for a championship chase ever.
Well, Will Power seems to have the right idea for now, though. He just has to accept the dominance of the Frenchman. Power will be back next year when the playing field will be slightly more even. But in the meantime, there was a race to be run at Zolder, and Bourdais once again put the hammer down when it mattered, taking pole position, his 5th of the season. He was looking to give his many fans who'd come over from France and around the world to Belgium, to Zolder, what they came to see. Spectacular stuff from Bourdais, and very soon we'll be able to go to the original live American commentary for the start of round 11 of the season from Zolder in Belgium.
Jeremy Shaw, alongside me as usual is James Hinchcliffe. James, we've already had plenty of action this weekend, and Dan Clark has been banished to the sidelines.
He certainly has, Jeremy, and all the drama began starting Friday morning's practice session, where a 4-car pileup, including local hero Jan Halen, as you see at the top of your screen, occurred on the outlap. Now, race director Tony Cotman lays blame for this crash squarely at the feet of Dan Clark, and we're going to go now to Bill Stevens, who is standing by with the race director, Tony Cotman, with his thoughts on the accident.
In fact, Rick, you remember that 2 races ago in San Jose, Dan Clark was put on probation after driving into the back of Justin Wilson during a yellow caution period. I'm with Tony Cotman right now. Tony, you've reviewed the incident. What was your decision?
Yeah, it's one of those unfortunate things that Dan was on probation, obviously, and really didn't leave me a lot of options to what we could do. So I suspended him for this event, and all going well. We'll see him back next race.
All right, we should have a decision on Friday, Rick.
All right, Bill, well, this is not the be interesting to see what happens there. So certainly suspended for this race, may be back at TT Circuit Assen in 1 week's time. Let's have a look at some of the incidents that Dan Clark has been involved in this year. It really started out at at Portland, he was involved in an incident with Graham Rahal. Look at this, on the back straight, puts him onto the grass at 165 miles an hour. Graham Rahal was not impressed. In San Jose, he took out the race leader, Justin Wilson, and that was under yellow flag. And then a couple of laps later, he came in for a new nose and took it off again promptly at the restart. And then last time out at Road America, he had passed Robert Doornbos, his Minardi Team USA teammate, who's going for the championship. And let's have a look now with what Dan Clark thinks about the penalty.
Tony's decision, and I'm just looking at it all from the bigger picture, much like Tony is as well. So I don't feel anything negative towards that at all, and I can't wait for the next race.
We're going to get ready for the start. It'll be a standing start, of course, in the Champ Car World Series. The lights will come on in sequence. When they go out, then we will be racing. And as you can see, the back of the field beginning now to line up. There goes Alex Figge, pulls into the final position. And in a few seconds now, the light sequence will begin. And then you see the green flag being waved at the back of the field. That gives the race director, Tony Cotman, the signal that everybody is in place for the standing start. Like an excellent start for the Poles in the Sebastian Bourdais, and Bruno Junqueira looked like he lost out a little bit there, and perhaps also maybe Robert Doornbos made a move into second place ahead of Will Power. Yes, he did, on board here with Will Power. That is Robert Doornbos heading through that flat out turn here onto the back straightaway, and leading now down to the first of the chicanes for the first time, and a huge lead for Sebastian Bourdais.
He's really got a good start, a lot of jockeying for position in the back. We saw a few drivers on the cars with power to pass, heading down that straightaway into turn 5, the first big braking zone. Down the hill now, they're heading into turn 7, on board with Jan Heylen.
And Jan Heylen, he was very outspoken after that incident on Friday morning, in which his car was very badly damaged. And of course the Conquest Racing team, it's just a one-car team this year. It's a local team, effectively. Eric Bachelard is from Belgium, Jan Heylen is from Belgium, and they had so high hopes coming into the weekend, but they lost all of Friday, and it was really a very good job by Jan Heylen to come back yesterday and make it into the 11th place on a very tightly packed grid.
It was really impressive run for him. Obviously disappointing to lose as much track time as he did, as we ride on board now with Justin Wilson. But like you say, Jeremy, a good comeback for them, and he's just looking for a good, strong race now.
Yeah, he is, and you can see Justin Wilson also has made it ahead of Bruno Junqueira there. Bruno, in qualifying, 4th on the grid for Dale Coyne Racing. That equals the best ever start for Dale Coyne Racing. It was also 4th on the grid for Gualter Salas back at Long Beach in 1998. Dale Coyne, of course, he's been in this championship since 1984, and that again is just his second row start in what is now his 300th race event for Dale Coyne Racing. They had 500 starts because often, of course, they've run 2 cars in a race. Sometimes they haven't. Sometimes they've been running as a 1-car entry. But this is the 300th race in which Dale Coyne Racing has been involved in the Champ Car World Series. And Bruno Junqueira has been strong all weekend, and his teammate Catherine Legg, she didn't really get a proper chance to show what she could do in qualifying. She was off, had an incident on Saturday morning, so lost some track time there. And also this morning in the warm-up, she was off the road on the very first lap when a rear wheel fell off her car. So finger trouble there, I believe it was, that caused that problem. On board now, though, with Will Power looking ahead to Robert Doornbos, who is now beginning to put some pressure on Sebastian Bourdais.
He's certainly not letting him get away, Jeremy. He's really enjoyed this track since they got there. All the drivers have. It's been a favorite since Friday morning when they first got to taste the track here at Zolder. It's very smooth, very fast track, very high grip, a little bit of elevation, different mixture of corners. Everybody seems to really enjoy racing here. And Justin Wilson, he takes advantage of the situation, gets on the inside of Graham Rahal, catches him off guard. Brilliant heads-up driving.
Brilliant heads-up driving, as you say, from Justin Wilson. He glimpsed that opportunity and he took it with both hands. And it's now Justin Wilson that looms large in the mirrors of Bruno Junqueira. We come out of that turn 5 chicane one more time, up the hill again. Coming out of the final chicane now and down towards turn 1. It's Justin Wilson has to run down the inside line, and he takes over what is now 5th position.
He goes a little bit wide. Does Bruno maybe get him back on the exit? Yes, he does, as does Graham Rahal. Whoa. It's all gone wrong for Justin Wilson. A little bit too quick into the first corner, went wide, and both cars managed to high-low him, as we call call it. Sure from the outside, cut back to the inside, and now Will Power right on the gearbox of the CDW car.
Great racing here in the closing stages. Less than 20 minutes to go in this race. Let's have a replay of what happened here. Coming down the hill, it was Gourmandi who I think took Rahal a little bit off guard, and Justin Wilson takes full advantage, dives down the inside. A perfectly clean pass. We'd heard the drivers saying coming into this race, they thought, it's a relatively narrow track here. They didn't think there was going to be a lot of overtaking, but there has been lots of overtaking, hasn't it? Particularly in the last couple of laps.
And Will Power is now got by Justin Wilson. It's all gone wrong. He had such a great move there on Graham Rahal. Watching that replay, I could see how his mind was working as a driver. It was great. It was just such a well-planned move, but then trying to get a little bit too optimistic, I guess, on Bernard Schinkera, a little bit too quick in the first corner, and he's been thrown off his rhythm, and it's all gone wrong now. He's lost 3 positions in the last lap, so just heartbreaking stuff, but great racing here at Zolder.
There are the checkered flags, and it's Sebastian Bourdais who comes away with yet another victory, the 29th of his career, the 103rd for Newman Haas Lanigan Racing. And let's have a look battle for second place. We want to see whether Bruno Junqueira can hold him off.
He does. He's crossed the line. Bernard Junqueira has held off for a podium position. That's second place for Dale Coyne Racing and Bruno. That is just fantastic stuff. You guys can't see it, but I'm standing up in the booth right now, giving a round of applause, standing ovation. That is just fantastic result.
Yeah, that is awesome for both of you guys. Another exemplary display from this man. Number 1 is Sebastian Bourdais, as he has been so often this season. That is win number 6 in just 11 starts this season for Sebastian Bourdais. But yeah, hats off to Bruno Junqueira. Did he make it? He did make it across the line, didn't he?
He did.
Okay, great, because I didn't see him there in the picture as they came around onto the back straightaway. Look at that jubilation amongst the Newman Haas Lanigan Racing team. There was Claire Bourdais there down there in the pit lane getting a hug from these guys, and they've worked so hard, this entire Newman Haas Lanigan Racing team. We talked about it earlier on. In 5 of the 7 races he's finished this year, they've had the least time in the pit lane. There again, that's Claire Bourdais, of course. Their first baby was born less than a year ago. They're going to be moving back to Europe next year. And there is Sebastian Bourdais receiving the plaudits from this crowd. And once again, this guy is super special.
The Andros Trophy is back for another season on Motors TV. Alain Prost, Olivier Panis and the rest of the best French ice racers will be competing all winter long from France's ski resorts. Round 1 comes your way from Val Thorens this Wednesday, December the 12th from 6 p.m.
Oh, I can't think what to give Cinderella for Christmas.
Oh, yes you can.
But I want to give Cinderella something special.
Use eBay, dear.
eBay, but...
Now, just tell eBay all the things that you know Cinderella loves best.
Oh, well, anything yellow, obviously. But really, there's nothing she likes more than 60s retro stuff. Oh, perfect.
Jack, what are you doing?
Oh, nothing.
70 mètres, sur gauche 60 un peu moins, sur gauche 10 plus, pas hier, et gauche 100 même plus, ici, 100 mètres, droite à fond, 100 mètres, double attention ciel frein pour 60 mètres, gauche 100 même bon long.
When Cinderella sees her Christmas present, she's gonna flip!
Oh, did you get her some hair straighteners?
No, I went on eBay, and I got it so right.
Jack, love.
I told eBay all the things I know she loves.
Jack!
And eureka! I found something so her. It's a...
Jack!
What?
She's behind you!
Oh.
The new scent of adventure. Dunhill Pursuit.
So use a condom.
The Pilot Bike Series is back for another season on Motors TV. The riders in the Pilot Bike Series will have to do battle with the elements and the icy racing surface all winter long. You can follow all the action from round 1 at Val Thorens this Wednesday, December the 12th from 7:30.
Hello and welcome. My name is Jeremy Shaw. Alongside me as usual, James Hinchcliffe, fresh off a test at Silverstone for A1GP Team Canada. James, Sebastian Bourdais has virtually rewritten the Champ Car record books, has another opportunity to make history this afternoon.
He does, by clinching his 4th consecutive championship. Ted Horn did 3 consecutive back in the 40s. No one's ever done 4, and it's a bit of a tall order this afternoon, but as we've seen so many times in the past, this man, Sebastian Bourdais, really excels in these high-pressure situations, so we could potentially see history made this afternoon.
The bottom line, if Bourdais scores 14 points more than Robert Dornbos, he will clinch that 4th consecutive Vanderbilt Cup title. As you can see, the virtually has a lock on the championship, perhaps does Bourdais, but Robert Dornbos is still very much in this fight for second place. He leads Will Power by 9 points right now. A lot of pressure on him this weekend.
It's a very big weekend for any driver racing in their hometown, and if it's his home country, he doesn't get this opportunity. There's a lot of extra media attention, a lot more sponsor interest, and of course just the personal pressure that he'll be putting on himself. I know he's not too happy with how he qualified this afternoon, but let me tell you, this team, as we've seen so many times this season, can take a mediocre qualifying and turning it into a stunning race performance.
Justin Wilson squeezing to the inside of Sebastian Bourdais. This is a very fast circuit, but it's also relatively narrow and pretty tight as well. Overtaking opportunities very much at a premium here. That was a brilliant start by Justin Wilson.
It was blistering off the line. I mean, he was starting from the dirty side of the racetrack as they head into the hairpin. That's turn 5, sliding a little bit wide. Sebastian looking, Neil Johnny getting racy. I think there was a bit of jockeying for position back there. I think one
Bourdais got a problem.
Cards.
Bourdais got a problem. He's slowed coming out of that corner. It's awfully difficult. You can't really miss a gear with these sequential boxes and the paddle shifting on these cars, but certainly some sort of a hiccup there coming out of that very tight turn 5 for our championship leader, Sebastian Bourdais.
Going through turn 7 now, all eyes are on him. He seems to have got back up to pace. Not sure if maybe he lost second gear or something because he was slow out of that very tight hairpin, and also it would have hurt him off the line if he was missing maybe second gear. So we'll have to look now, but we're getting where there's a full course caution on the track.
Yes, indeed, and instantly the guys are off the throttle here. We hear that car number 3 is off the road. That's Paul Tracy off in turn 1. That would be a disaster for PT, and that's a great shame for PT because he's not really been struggling all weekend. He's had the pace this weekend, unlike in several other recent races this season. But in qualifying, he had a mechanical problem, and then also in the warm-up this morning, ditto. So PT just the luck not going his way this weekend, and he's off the road. The crowd there out on the far end of the racetrack, and great vantage points here, big spectator banking. There's 100,000 permanent seats here at Assen, just a remarkable place, and all the way around the rest, much of the way around the rest of the racetrack, these big earthen embankments where the fans can sit and just soak up the action. And just talking to everybody this morning, the crowd is beginning to pour in at 6 o'clock this morning, and it's just a great feeling. And some of the teams and drivers have been telling us they have these sort of porter cabins where they use for their engineering debriefs, and just to get from those cabins to the pit lane garages can take them quite a few minutes to get across what has been a packed garage area this weekend. The Dutch fans really enjoying the access they get to the Champ Car drivers. Here we are, they're getting ready for action now on the pit lane. It'll be down to the pit crews now as everybody is onto pit lane for service. Bill Stevens is going to be in the Roosport pit, getting ready for our race leader, Justin Wilson.
And his crew is ready. This looks like a wholesale tire sale along pit road. Every team coming in just about. Justin is in. Let's see what they do with the fuel. Primary tires on. The reds have come off, but watch the fuel filler. It's out. And Johnny looked like he took a full load. It just gets out ahead of Neil Johnny.
sure he took on, I think everybody could have taken on a full load here, Bill, but as you can see there, apparently no change at the front apart from Jan Halen, who's jumped ahead of Sebastian Bourdais. Fabulous work by Conquest Racing there, and this is just great news for those guys. This little team, just a one-car team, all the other teams along pit lane, two-car outfits, of course, that's a big benefit for them. They get all the data from two drivers to compare with a brand new DP01 chassis this year. It's certainly one would think it would help the teams to have two cars, but Conquest Racing, not only it's one of the smaller budget teams, but just one car to work with and two different drivers, which doesn't make it any easier either. But great pit work there by Conquest Racing.
Yeah, they really did do a good job, but as you just saw going out of your screen there, Bruno Junqueira did not pit, so he is actually in the lead of this race right now. Justin Wilson has come out behind him. I'm not sure if there's anyone else who did not pit, but we certainly saw Bruno stay out there. And here's a replay of Justin pulling out of the pits with Neil Johnny just right behind him. That was a close call. I mean, and another one there with, contact so nearly between Gomendi and Rahal.
And it's a pretty narrow pit lane here in Assen, of course. It's primarily built as a motorcycle track, so we don't need a lot of width on the racetrack, or I should say in the pit lane. And Porsche Racing here is out of the car number 3, the Indec car, and PT, just a dreadful weekend for him. It's Justin Wilson the lead by 6.5 seconds over Jan Halen. Bruno Junqueira in third, about 5 seconds behind Halen, and actually gaining ground quite rapidly, about half a second a lap. Junkie is pulling into the advantage that Jan Halen has, and behind Junqueira is Gomendi, and then they get back to this battle here with Neil Jarny struggling now to hold off Simon Pagenaud and Sebastian Bourdais. And Jarny, he's dropping back a little bit in the later stages as well. He too on the red sidewall tyres. Glimpse of the grandsons there. There's over 100,000 seats here at TC Turkey Assen. A big crowd on hand, and they are absolutely enjoying what has been a fascinating motor race. Here's Neil Jarny in the Red Bull car of PKV Racing. He and his PKV Racing teammate Tristan Gomendi that started on the second row of the grid, and third and fourth positions, and now running fourth and fifth.
Still very respectable, obviously. I mean, that's a very good result for them. They've been quick all weekend. You know, that qualifying pace was by no means a fluke. Every session they've really been up there, so it's great to see. I mean, hopefully we can see in the final two races them kind of continue this recent form as we see things getting very racy back here. Sebastian Bourdais, obviously he'd like to try and make up as many points on Robert as possible, but at the same time, it is not worth going out at this stage in the championship with the kind of lead that he has.
This battle, it really is building up, isn't it? It's a battle for 5th, 6th and 7th. Neil Jarny just ahead of Simon Pagenaud, and Pagenaud now really coming under increasing pressure from Sebastian Bourdais. It's Tristan Gomendi who's ahead of these guys, who's still set the fastest lap of the race at 1:21.070. Last time around, let's see what laps anybody was doing. Gomendi actually the quickest man on track at a 21.3. Boy, that's a good effort. And he's closing in on Bruno Junqueira as a battle potentially for third and fourth. And these guys, Neil Jarny, turned a 1:23.7, so 2.5 seconds slower was Neil Jarny than his PKV Racing teammate Tristan Gomendi.
And it really is showing. I mean, he is holding up the cars behind him, and you can see now behind Bourdais as he maybe tries an outside line around Simon Pagenaud. He's just getting creative at this point, but you're seeing the train of Sergio Rahal catching up as well, and even Ryan Dial running now in the 10th position, not that far behind. So Neil Jarny is definitely holding up this queue of cars.
He's made the pass. Look at that, but
that's a tough place to try and make it. They're holding side by side through turn 7. That's a flat-out corner. That was a very optimistic move from Sebastian Bourdais. It wasn't pulled off, and now he's under attack from Oriol Servia.
Great racing here, and there is Graham Rahal at the back of this pack as well. He just mentioned Ryan Dial. Hats off to him for Pacific Coast Motorsports. He's done an excellent job this afternoon.
Justin Wilson emerges from the car, waves the checkered flag, and gets a tremendous ovation from this crowd here at Assen. Justin, big hug for the crew. Justin, the day began with question. You had a problem with the car, but your crew really came through for you today, didn't they?
Yeah, they did a fantastic job, and the car was working great. So that first 2 stints, we're just trying to pace ourselves, keep everything in order, and after that, it was flat out for the last part of the race, and you know, we had the pace for one, so it feels good. You know, after this morning, we were struggling with. Couldn't get the warm-up done, so it's just great to get the CDW number 9 car on the top 10 for the podium.
Nice job, Justin.
Yeah, certainly a tremendous job, and he did have the pace. He's been quick all day, has Justin Wilson. Talking of quick, the fastest lap of the race was set by Dan Clark in the closing stages after that final splash and go pit stop. So kudos to Dan Clark, who will get a championship point. So look at the championship standings, 58 points now, the lead that Sebastian Bourdais has over Justin Wilson. So pretty much just by starting the race at the Lexmark Grand Prix at Surfers Paradise in a few weeks' time, Bourdais will clinch his 4th title, but he won't be able to do until then. Robert Dornbos is now out of the reckoning for the championship, and Bill Stevens.
Down here with a very happy Bruno Junqueira, and for the 2nd week in a row, we're meeting on the podium. What a great turnaround for your team, Bruno.
Yeah, very happy. I think it's really good, 2 podiums in a row. A little bit like that because we lost the lead on the last pit stop. We had a problem with the PLC that engaged the 40 miles where I was 75, so I lost like at least 2 or 3 seconds coming to the pits. So we lost the lead there. But anyway, I'm very happy for the whole Dale Coyne team to get to the podium.
Nice job, Bruno.
And then Stefan Dwarnik there congratulating Bruno. He's one of the race engineers here, and Bruno's sister Gianna and Terry Brown there as well with the glasses. Just a great bunch of guys here at Dale Coyne Racing. They love their motor racing and they work hard at it as well. And Bruno Junqueira delivered with another brilliant performance this weekend, and he comes away with a 3rd place finish. 2nd place meanwhile for Jan Halen.
There are all sorts of people in the Army. Discover more about yourself with the Army Pathfinder at armyjobs.mod.uk.
It's Catch-22. You need to remove tough stains from your coloured clothes, but are worried about fading them.
New Vanish Oxy-Action Multi with Colour Protect. Just 1 scoop in every wash removes these tough stains, and it won't fade your colours. Let me show you how it powers through your wash. Those stains have gone, and no damage to the colour, even after 20 washes.
No more worrying about colours.
New Vanish Oxy-Action Multi with Colour Protect. 1 scoop in every wash. Trust pink, forget stains.
Bertolli. Enjoy the goodness of the olive tree every day.
Long Way Down, the DVD. The fantastic follow-up to our incredible trip, The Long Way Round. This time, experience our amazing adventure from John O'Groats to Cape Town. 15,000 miles, spectacular scenery, unforgiving terrain, and extraordinary people. A 2-disc set of the brand new series, including unseen and extended footage. Long Way Down, the DVD, out now.
Welcome to the penultimate round in this year's Champ Car World Series. I'm Jeremy Shaw. With me today, sitting in for James Hinchcliffe, is Ryan Dial. Ryan, thanks for joining us. I know you'd much rather be behind the wheel of a Champ Car, especially in Surfers Paradise.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Jeremy. Of course I would, but you know what, Surfer Paradise is a great track, fast, bumpy, exciting, anything can happen. And even not driving, it's fun to be part of this.
Yeah, just a tremendous atmosphere as ever here on the Gold Coast. Over 300,000 people expected over the weekend. Lots of storylines this weekend. One of them, of course, as ever, is Sebastian Bourdais. He's looking to become the first man ever to win 4 consecutive championships in the Champ Car World Series. But his week did not start well, doing a promotional event a few miles up the coast here on the Gold Coast, and all went wrong at the wheel of a Subaru WRX rally car. And it didn't get much better for Sebastian Bourdais. He crashed here on the streets on Friday as well in first qualifying. The other man, of course, that everybody is looking at this weekend, Will Power, just born in Tour, but just up again, just a few miles away from Surfers Paradise. 1 year ago, though, Sebastian Bourdais made a very optimistic lunge down there at turn 3. That contact, but Will Power out of the race, and he is looking to set the record straight right now, 1 year later. Lots of driver changes this weekend at Forsyth Championship Racing. Oriol Servia out. In comes David Martinez from Mexico. At BKV Racing, Tristan Gomendy out. Servia just slots right in there. At PCM, Ryan Diel is alongside me this weekend, ousted for Mario Dominguez for the last 2 races of the season. And at Conquest Racing, Jan Halen, despite a magnificent run to second at Assen, he's out, replaced by Nelson Philippe. Here on the Gold Coast, 16 years we've been racing here, and never has there been a repeat winner. This weekend, though, 5 drivers, Ryan, have a chance to set that record straight. So once again, it's been a fabulous event here. Huge crowds on hand for this magnificent sporting event, and it's been Will Power who's led the early stages, but pit stops now underway. Let's have a look here. This is Will Power, the local favourite from Toowoomba in Queensland, Team Australia, and there is Oriol Servia stepping in this race for Tristan Gomendy. We believe there's some sort of an incident on pit lane, and there is Will Power. Apparently some sort of contact with David Martinez. Goodness know how that could have happened, because Will should have led the field onto pit lane. But whoa, he's getting the answer here clearly.
I can only imagine Martinez was swinging in front of him. You're going to see here, swinging in.
Oh no. What a mistake.
That's unbelievable.
And that's a bad mistake by Team Australia, and most unusual. Generally it's Derek Walker behind the wall who calls for the driver to go, and you cannot blame David Martinez. He's just pulling into his pit stop. It's up to the Team Australia guys to make sure the road is clear, right, Neil?
Exactly. I mean, there's only one guy to blame there, and that's whoever releases Will from his pits. Yeah, you can actually see the front. It looks like the front right wishbone's bent a tiny bit. This is pretty devastating for Will at this point. I mean, Martinez had nothing to do, and Will had nothing to do.
Yeah, I mean, poor old Will. I mean, he's done everything right here. He made his debut right here in Australia 2 years ago, was running well inside the top 10 when he was taken out in turn 3 by his then teammate Alex Tagliani, and then last year he dominated the early stages until taken out by Sebastian Bourdais, also in turn 3, but this time it doesn't happen in turn 3, it happens in the pit lane for poor Will Power. Will Power will, we hope, for the crowd's sake here in Queensland, Australia, giving it the charge. He's up to 30. Is that Will? I think it probably is, yeah. That's Catherine Legg and Will Power. That is a disaster. That certainly is the end of Will Power's hopes.
Yeah, that's done. He's done for the day. That's unfortunate. He was definitely you know, in your home race, it's one of those things. You get so much more pressure on you, and you want to perform for your kind of country. So
there is Derek Walker, the team principal, one of the 2 team principals for Team Australia. Craig Gore, his co-owner. Unfortunately, Craig had a medical problem actually while he was flying his helicopter earlier in the week. He had a problem with his inner ear, needed surgery. Craig Gore is sitting back in his home here on the Gold Coast, unable to come to the races, so we wish Craig a speedy recovery. There's a replay of what happened between these two, and look, Will Power just got a bit desperate, trying to lunge down the inside. Here he is, he dives to the inside under braking, and that was never going to work.
You know, I'm not going to say until I seen a different replay. I mean, it's one of those things, and you know, Catherine's got to be honest with herself. It's
Will's nothing to do with Catherine Legg. She was well out of the way. She hadn't even turned into the corner, and Will lost it. That's my view of it.
Yeah, you know,
disagree?
Will's going to win the race, and Catherine's not. And you know, sometimes it's better just to get out of the way.
I think she got right out of the way. I don't think she was anything to do with that. When the car snapped sideways from Will Power, from my perspective, it looked like Will's car snapped sideways and collected Catherine as he was going past.
I mean, I'd like to see it from the front angle and see what happened to cause him to get sideways. Because the car from the back angle, the car goes sideways, but there's a reason it goes sideways.
No, it's pretty bumpy down there in turn 8. It always has been. It's a difficult place to make a pass. You've got to be absolutely alongside someone there. If you're going to make a pass, you've got to make that pass early and make sure the driver knows you're there. And I don't think that was the case there. Look at the reception that Will's going to get, but he will be bitterly disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, there's one thing crashing out in a race, and there's nothing crashing out in front of your home race with 300,000 people there. So, you know, the emotion you threw him just now is it's going to be sickening for him.
Well, now we can go on board. It's Helmut Cam, it's Nelson Philippe in Surfers Paradise. Sit back and enjoy the lap. It's all rather impressive stuff. Well, after Nelson Philippe's pyrotechnics, we can go back to the end of the race and a 4th title, very soon to be in the grateful hands of Sébastien Bourdais.
Time to make that call. That is what Kenny Seawick has done, and we will see this car number 1 on pit lane next time around.
These radios seem so much clearer when we hear them on these things. Like it doesn't seem that clear when you've got Cosworth strapped to your back.
There's a mistake from Sébastien Bourdais. Left his braking a little bit too late there at the end of the Esplanade. He jumps all the way over the curbs.
That really didn't cost him any time. He'll be okay with that. And I don't know. This is going to be interesting. I think Justin's going to come out ahead of him here.
It's going to be very, very interesting. The gap between the two as they came across the line last time was just 34 seconds it was shown. Actually, what happened there? My scoring vaulted from 26 to 34. I don't know why that was. But let's have a look again at the replay here as he just locks up a little bit that left front brake going into the Barticard chicane. And you're right, it really won't have cost him too much time, but you don't want to make too many errors like that.
Yeah, he's okay with that. He's coming in.
Solid stop here, car 1 crew. This is the money. Right on the mark 7.
This is where Newman Haas are at their best, though. This is there's going to be no faults here.
Bill Stevens is in the Newman Haas Racing Lanigan pit for Bourdais' final pit stop of the day.
Sebastian is in. They're making a tire pressure adjustment to cut down on the understeer on the car. That may be the reason why he just botched that chicane a few moments ago. The tires are on. They're filling the car with fuel, and he's out. Can he preserve the lead?
Yeah, and he's on the black sidewall tires. That's an interesting call, Ryan Dial.
Yeah, well, most of the time, I think he's way ahead of him. Way ahead, not even close.
Yeah, not even close.
The black tires are always the best 90% of the time towards the end of a street course race, and that's why you saw a lot of them. They have to use the alternate tire at least 1 lap under green in a race situation. That's why you see a lot of them run the red tire on the second stint. First stop, red tires. It gives you time to get them on, get them off, and then regain any positions that you may have lost or time you lost by using them. The red tire is faster, but only for a certain amount of time.
That's right, and here is Justin Wilson, and he's going to try as hard as he can, but that's a pretty big deficit that he's got to make up.
Bruno gets another podium for Dale Coyne Racing at this point now.
Absolutely magnificent. He's done a super job again. Again, he's not been desperately fast, but he hasn't been in a position to go fast this afternoon, Bruno. He's been having to save fuel, but look at this. It's Sébastien Bourdais, another magnificent one. There are the checkered flags, and yet another win for Newman Haas Lanigan Racing, and for Sébastien Bourdais. Just amazing. Win number 30 for Sébastien Bourdais. That puts him just 1 win behind Paul Tracy. And he's just been stellar since he first came into this championship. He's the first man ever, the first repeat winner here on the streets of Surfers Paradise. You can see the jubilation in the Newman Haas Lanigan Racing pit. 4 in a row indeed for Sébastien Bourdais. He's the first man to win 2 races here in Surfers, and the first man ever to win 4 consecutive championships. There is going to be a party tonight, Ryan Dial.
Bourdais takes the lead. Checkered flag is in the air.
Let's have a look at some of these great successes for Paul Newman there on the right and Carl Haas.
Congratulations, Sebastian.
Bourdais.
It's a great win. It's a great win. It's a great team effort.
Sebastian Bourdais getting the ceremonial shower of champagne as he wraps up his 4th consecutive Champ Car World Series championship. If he doesn't drown, maybe we can get a word with this great champion. Sebastian, we've had a chance to talk in the winner's circle a lot this year, but this has got to be the biggest one.
Yeah, just, I can't thank this McDonald's crew enough. They put me there once again, and I'm thinking really hard to Claire and Emma and my mom who are back in St. Pete, and this one's really sweet. This one's really, really sweet.
On Friday when you crashed the car, what were your thoughts? Were you thinking, oh my, maybe I've just blown my chance to do it this weekend?
No, because I knew everything was going to happen on Saturday, but it's obviously a step back. You crash the car, you lose the confidence, but this is the greatest group of people I worked with.
We'll let you enjoy the fruits of your labors. Thank you.
1 year ago, Sebastian Bourdais clinched the title here in Surfers Paradise with a very mediocre run to 8th place. This time, he does it in style with a magnificent victory. and that is win number 30 out of just 72 starts in the Champ Car World Series. Here is confirmation that he's with a 62-point lead. Sebastian Bourdais is the champion. Wilson extends his lead over Robert Dornbos to 6 points in the battle for second, and Will Power, with that disappointing run, falls back to a distant fourth place. Graham Rahal in that very tight battle for fifth on down, just ahead of Neil Jarni, Bruno Junqueira, Simon Pagenaud.
From the AC Cobra to the Mustang 350 GT and the Dodge Viper and much, much more, one name has been synonymous with these V8 American muscle cars, Shelby. This Wednesday, December the 12th from 9 p.m, Motors TV brings you the story of race car driver turned innovator Carroll Shelby.
Oh, I can't think what to give Cinderella for Christmas.
Oh, yes you can.
But I want to give Cinderella something special.
Use eBay, dear.
eBay, but...
Now, just tell eBay all the things that you know Cinderella loves best.
Oh, well, anything yellow, obviously. But really, there's nothing she likes more than 60s retro stuff. Oh, perfect.
Jack, what are you doing?
Oh, nothing.
Sky Broadband is here. To get the most out of Sky with Sky Broadband, visit sky.com/broadband.
Grab your phone and join our party. Rachel's texting now. She can't wait to see who else is texting. Claire and Amanda are best mates. They love to text all the time. Text message the word mates to 80700. Thousands of singles are waiting to chat with you. Just text mates to 80700. Don't miss the fun. Join the party now. Text mates to 80700.
When Cinderella sees her Christmas present, she's gonna flip!
Oh, did you get her some hair straighteners?
No, I went on eBay, and I got it so right.
Jack, love.
I told eBay all the things I know she loves.
Jack!
And Eureka! I found something so her. It's a...
Jack!
What?
She's behind you!
Oh.
Mexico City has a rich heritage in culture and in motor racing, and provides an appropriate setting for the 2007 Champ Car finale. Back in April, the streets of Las Vegas echoed to the launch of the 2007 Champ Car World Series. And during the ensuing 7 months, some impressive milestones have made for a memorable season. We saw the introduction of standing starts and all the inherent drama of a wheel-to-wheel dash to turn 1. It was a continuation of the supremacy of Sebastian Bourdais, who became the first man ever to win 4 consecutive championships. It was a period of significant growth as Champ Car returned to Europe and dazzled crowds on the continent. We also saw plenty of emerging talents, from a dynamic Dutchman to a winning wonder from Down Under, and even a homegrown rookie looking to expand a family tradition. Today, all the passion and performance that made up version 2007 of the Champ Car World Series will come to a head in Mexico City at the Tecate Grand Prix. It was clean at the front, but not for Oriol Servia. He was on the second row. He has stalled the PKV car. Farther back, Alex Tagliani and also Nelson Philippe have stalled their cars. We've got 3 cars stationary on the racetrack, and in the meantime it was Will Power trying to lead them down into the first corner, and with Sebastian Bourdais hot on his heels. As ever in the Champ Car World Series, the drivers have been told, instructed not to use their Cosworth Power to pass until they're around the first couple of corners. So it's just a clean drag race down to turn 1, but not for these 3 guys. That is Alex Tagliani, and he is going to compete the 3rd man on the totem pole. They're already toe starting both Oriol Servia and Nelson Philippe, and there is Alex Tagliani still sitting forlornly on the line. There's only 2 safety cars on this part of the racetrack, so Tag will have to wait for the other pace car to troll on back and pull him. Here's a look at the restart. You can see Servia there, and look at that. Simon Pagenaud just squeaked by, James.
He did it. He actually ripped some of the banners off of pit wall there, and it didn't even look like Oriol moved. It almost looked like he was stalled before the lights went out. We didn't see his hands moving. Very, very quick hands by Simon Pagenaud to get around that car.
That was a phenomenal save and a great start from Will Power at the front of the grid.
Yeah, crucially, he had all the problems. We're right on board with Graham Rahal now.
Look at that PT making a great run off the road behind Graham Rahal.
And you can hear just how difficult it is to get 750 horsepower out of these Cosworth XFE engines through those Bridgestone tires and onto the racetrack. Very difficult indeed.
And here they're already lifting off. The yellow's already out. The drivers are told about. That's
Dan Clark.
Dan Clark. He stalled it out on the racetrack as well. Maybe the same sort of problem that Bourdais had. Well, Bourdais, when they went in the caution at Assen, you remember Bourdais, he went all the way up to gears to try and save some fuel, put into top gear right away, and he didn't have enough revs on the car to keep it going. Maybe that's the same problem that Dan Clark has.
Just sort of summarizes Dan Clark's season. He's just not really had the season he was hoping for. Not a lot of luck. Very unfortunate for him to be essentially out this early.
Yeah, he's back to using his matte black helmet rather than those his distinctive red and white stripes on Dan Clark's helmet, but it certainly has not brought him any luck this weekend.
And now Will Power's going to lead them back to the green. Now on the first lap, on the run down to the first corner, none of these drivers were allowed to use that Cosworth Power to pass. But this is a restart, Jeremy. Everything is fair play. So let's see who does what and get ready for a little bit of excitement into this first corner.
Yeah, here's this very tight chicane before the famed Peraltada here. Slightly banked, right-hander, absolutely flat out it is, particularly coming away under a full course caution. Hard on the power. A great restart there by Will Power. Takes the line about 75 yards ahead of Sebastian Bourdais. And in 3rd place, Robert Doornbos under pressure from Justin Wilson.
He got clean by him, and Robert Doornbos has pulled off to the side. He has a problem as well. The second Minardi Team USA car has pulled off. You can see on the left-hand side of your screen. So Justin Wilson clean by and into turn 1. And other than that, it seemed like it was a pretty clean restart. Not too much shuffling going on.
What a shame for Robert Doornbos. He was struggling here on Friday, the first time he's ever seen this racetrack. It's a classic racetrack in Mexico City. But he was in that battle with that CDW car, Justin Wilson and Robert Doornbos. Just 8 points separated those two for 2nd place in the overall standings, and it now looks like it's all gone wrong for Robert Doornbos.
This certainly looks like a terminal problem for him. He's going to try and cruise it back to the pit.
He's still under power.
You see, yeah, he is trying to get back. I mean, maybe he's stuck in a gear because you could see Justin just close right up on him on the straightaway when they started to get up to speed. And he actually tried to get out of the way as Justin went to pass. So it almost looked like a block at first, but you can see now.
There's on board here with Justin Wilson taking across the start-finish line there. Boy, yeah, there wasn't much room, was there, to the right-hand side of the racetrack. Justin Wilson now up into top gear. This long throw is more than a kilometre long, then hard on the brakes for turn 1.
You know, I'd love to maybe see that replay again, because I thought that I saw Doornbos's red light flash on the back of his car to say he's using his power to pass, and I'm not sure if...
Or the pit lane speed limiter.
Or the pit lane speed limiter came on. But you know what? Having looked at it now, our computer is telling us he did in fact use 4 seconds of his Cosworth power to pass, so I take that back.
Well, no, maybe we remember we had those problems in Assen in Holland. I don't know that we've had any reprise of those problems there, because as a result of several drivers having problems, including Sebastian Bourdais early in that race. The drivers were told not to use their Cosworth power to pass for the remainder of the event. Here, meanwhile, is Robert Dornbos limping his way very slowly back to the pit lane. And in the meantime, there's been a change for the lead. Sebastian Bourdais has snuck past Will Power.
Both drivers using their Cosworth power to pass. Will obviously in a defensive mode. Sebastian in the offense, but if he got his finger to the button first with the draft down this straightaway, such a long straightaway, very, very clean, textbook maneuver into the first corner there.
Wow, he really took, I think, Will Power by surprise there, James. If you look at Will Power, he's used only 9 seconds of his Cosworth power to pass, so he clearly only used it in the latter part of the straightaway, and that was enough. He gets such a boost with his extra almost 100 horsepower. It's worth about 67 miles an hour. It's a huge kick in the pants, and you get go down the straight, and Sebastian Bourdais used the strategy to perfection.
He really did, and he got 14 seconds out of his power to pass on that run, so he beat Will to the button by quite a margin, which is why you saw him get by so easily. Of course, Will unable to defend. There's no blocking in the Champ Car World Series. Blocking defined as deviating from your racing line, so you're pretty much not allowed to move at all. And just to try and help increase passing a little bit, and that's certainly what it did there. And Sebastian Bourdais now absolutely on a tear, setting the fastest lap of the race at a 1:26.7. Will Power's fastest lap, a 1:27.7. Sebastian Bourdais doing what we've seen him do so many times and really showing why he is a 4-time consecutive champion.
That lap by Sebastian Bourdais a full 2 seconds quicker than his previous lap around. He knows that pit stops are looming here. There is Paul Tracy for the Forsyth Challenge Racing Team.
They were pulling some vents out of the side pod. Maybe the car running a little bit hot, whether it was the water or the oil. One of the coolers has been opened up a little bit more, get a little bit more air into that engine.
Simon Pagenaud and Bruno Junqueira are also onto pit lane. They have completed 23 laps. 24 laps now it will be. There goes Bruno Junqueira from beneath our commentary position. This is a shot of two full-size cars.
This is PT just coming out of the pits here. Graham Rahal right behind him. David Martinez behind him.
Yeah, so those positions, relative positions stay the same then. So Tracy ahead of Graham Rahal. Was that the position they were in before as well?
Yes, they were, because PT was in 4th. Yep. Graham had just gotten by Simon Pagenaud into 5th.
Yeah, because he was hot on his tail, wasn't he? Here now comes Sebastian Bourdais. So once again we see Will Power and Sebastian Bourdais getting great fuel consumption, and Cameron Steele is in the Newman Haas Lanigan Racing pit as Sebastian Bourdais, our 4-time champion, brings a McDonald's car onto pit lane, and right behind him is Will Power.
Guys, I'm here in Sebastian Bourdais' pit. According to Kenny Seawick, no changes to the car. You can see anything other than the black tires going on. Everybody happy, everything smooth down here.
Identical strategies then from Newman Haas Lanigan Racing and from Team Australia, and the positions stay the same. Look at that, there's Oriol Servia ahead of them on the racetrack. Oriol, he's out of sequence with these other guys, but only for a few laps. He's going to be making a pit stop in probably 2 or 3 laps.
Just had a mission come through. Got to do a route clearance for a foot patrol. UAV, unmanned air vehicle, is basically a spy plane. AV's launched. AV 257 feet. AV on task. Grid 880. The whole system is the eyes and ears of this battle group, and without us, it makes the job more dangerous. Sarge, look, dead.
This film continues at armyjobs.mod.uk.
Long Way Down, the DVD. The fantastic follow-up to our incredible trip, The Long Way Round. This time, experience our amazing adventure from John O'Groats to Cape Town. 15,000 miles, spectacular scenery, unforgiving terrain, and extraordinary people. A 2-disc set of the brand new series, including unseen and extended footage. Long Way Down, the DVD, out now.
Camera phone fun is the great new way to swap pictures with girls in your area. It's easy. Just text MATCH to 88898 and in minutes you can be swapping pictures with the girl of your choice. Make the most of your mobile. Text MATCH to 88898 and the fun starts. Don't be shy, it's that easy. Store the number in your phone now. For a fantastic way to get in touch with girls in your area and join in the fun, text MATCH to 88898 and the fun starts.
Fastest lap still stands, of course, to Robert Dormoss at 1:24.7. Second fastest lap in the race, Justin Wilson still at 26.4. But a whole bunch of drivers improved their times last time around. So less than 5 minutes to go here in Mexico City. So it's Sebastian Bourdais who still leads from Will Power. The gap this time around was 1.5 seconds. Will Power, he sets his best lap of the race so far. It's a 1:27.6. Can he make up that deficit? He's using his power to pass right now, even though he's a long way behind Sebastian Bourdais. But certainly, before he's going to make a pass, he's got to get onto Bourdais' tail.
He's got to catch up before he can do it. He's not hitting the power to pass as soon as he gets onto the straightaway. He's using a little bit later to get a bit more speed, but not to use too much of it. He currently has 35 seconds. Sebastian, 22. So there's still enough to play with on both guys' cars. And this is the gap right here we can see. It was 1.599 seconds last time around. Just a great restart from Sebastian Bourdais.
Certainly was, using all of his experience there and just got on the power coming out of the Pelotada. He was flat out all the way around it and got on an early jump on the throttle as well.
Down here with Rob Edwards running things for Simon Pagenaud. He lost a couple of positions on the restart. Was he just not aggressive enough or a problem?
I think probably he was a little too conservative. He's trying to save some push to pass for the last couple of laps, and thought he could probably not have to use it to stay where he was, and we'll see if we can get it back the last couple of laps here.
You got one back, let's see if we can get the other one.
Yes, and there is Simon Pagenaud, who's got back past Mario Dominguez now, so in 6th place, Will Power in 2nd, Oriol Servia 3rd, Graham Rahal in 4th, then Paul Tracy, Simon Pagenaud, Mario Dominguez in 7th, then Bruno Junqueira, Neil Jarni and Justin Wilson now down into 10th place, the final car on the lead lap. Graham Rahal in 4th, he's only got 6 seconds worth left on his power to pass. Tyler Tanner, because the team director for PCM, is with Michelle Beisner. Looking after the car, of course, Mario Dominguez in 7th place, the Tecate car. Mario's had a great run in front of his home crowd this weekend. And Michelle, I guess we're not going to go for that interview right now, but it's still, he's running in 7th place. It certainly would be an excellent result for that PCM team. And they've had several good runs this season. Ryan Dalziel, most notably, had some great runs for that organisation before. Unfortunately, he was sat down in favour of Mario Dominguez for these last couple of races of the season. And the team's best result indeed was scored by Ryan, a 7th place finish in Toronto. And if you remember, in those very difficult conditions, wet, dry conditions in Toronto, that Ryan was actually up in the top 3 for quite a while. And just in the last couple of laps of the race, he was involved in a position, kind of a contre-temps, if you like, with Justin Wilson. He fell back to 7th there. It was certainly a great run for Ryan Dalziel on that occasion. And certainly we hope to see Ryan back in this series in 2008, but right now it's Mario Dominguez there, and he's looking to get maybe 7th or even better perhaps.
And not just him, his teammate at Pacific Coast Motorsports, Alex Figge, currently running in 11th, easily his best run of the year. So it's looking like this rookie team is going to end their season on a very strong note. We are getting the sign, 1 lap to go. This 2007 Champ Car season is only 2.77 miles from ending, and Sebastian Bourdais is looking set to claim another win and cap off his career in the right way.
Wow. Will Power used the Cosworth power to pass going down to 2-1. Here's Mario Dominguez. He is out of Cosworth power to pass. Bruno Junqueira behind him has 5 seconds worth left. Maybe he can use it either on this next straightaway here or down into that very tight final chicane. There is Mario Dominguez really under pressure from Bruno Junqueira. Right behind him is Neil Jarni. Then a little bit of a gap back to Justin Wilson, but it's Mario Dominguez clinging on to that 7th place. And Simon Pagenaud just ahead of them. set his best lap of the race last time around. It was in fact David Martinez who turned a flying lap there. Second fastest lap of the day, 1:26.0 from David Martinez. He's several laps back down in 14th, but what a great result for him. But there's this man, isn't it? Sebastian Bourdais. He comes out of the SS for the final time. He's looking at career victory number 31 under heavy braking for the chicane. He looks in his mirrors. Willpower is there, but not close enough. And all Sebastian Bourdais now it has to do is get the power down cleanly, not muff any gear shifts, and looks like another magnificent day for the Frenchman. He flashes across the line. There is Jim Swinton. The checkered flag is out. Sebastian Bourdais wins yet again. Willpower has to make do in second place. Oriol Servia, a great run for BKV Racing. After stalling on the start line, he comes back to finish third, ahead of Graham Rahal, then Paul Tracy in fifth place, and it is Mario Dominguez who finishes seventh, just ahead of Bruno Junqueira and Neil Jarni. Well, it was a lot of not so exciting racing in the middle stages, but boy, James, that was exciting at the end, and a great result once again for Newman Haas Lanigan Racing.
That full course caution certainly did spice things up a little bit, as Sebastian does his trademark donuts. He has certainly had a lot of practice at doing those over his 5 years here in the Champ Car World Series. Just a brilliant victory. He pulled it out just when he needed to, and did it in such style with such class, which we've seen so many times from this man.
He led all the way from the pole here in 2004, swept the board that day. He also, of course, beat Justin Wilson in that last lap thriller 1 year ago, and now win number 3 on this historic racetrack for Sebastian Bourdais. He came into the weekend saying, you know, he really did want to end his Champ Car career on a high. He was so disappointed yesterday in the final qualifying session. He'd been fastest on Friday, had the provisional pole, but yesterday in final qualifying, he just didn't get it together. Slipped. He was actually 10th quickest in yesterday's session, but he started from the front row as a result of that provisional pole on Friday, and he comes away with a great victory this afternoon. But let's have a hand there for David Martinez. It's a great run there. It's Robert Dormos who gets the fastest lap of the race, but David Martinez, in just his third Champ Car start, he was running well up in the top 5 or 6 until he had a problem in the pits, and he comes away with the second fastest lap of the race. The unofficial results is Sebastian Bourdais wins the race from Willpower, Oriol Servia, Graham Rahal and Paul Tracy, and Simon Pagenaud there ahead of the other Mexican driver Mario Dominguez, then Bruno Junqueira, Neil Jarni and Justin Wilson.
Really no, I think there's any more appropriate way for him to cap off his career with another win here. And another, it wasn't just an easy one. It wasn't from pole, easily done. He had to be a little bit strategic. He had to put it down when he needed to, and just brilliant. Great drive from Oriol Servia. Great comeback. Too bad for Graham Rahal. He couldn't be on the podium in the final race of the season, but still a very strong result for him. And then, of course, for Willpower, a good end of the season. Not where he wanted to be overall at the end of the year, but still, he showed incredible pace throughout the course of this year.
Yeah, he'll be disappointed. It's his 5th pole of the season. Only one of them has he translated into a victory. Did, of course, add a second victory during the season, but he wanted to, with 5 poles, he would have expected to have more than the 2 victories that are to his name. He turns the donuts there on the front straight, and here is Sebastian Bourdais coming up behind him as well. And again, more donuts here for the crowd. And it's been a tremendously exciting end to the race. And there is Sebastian riding at the crowd in a magnificent fashion, and he started off, his donuts were far from the best, but as you say, James, he's now perfected that art.
And you know what? I've just seen Michael Cannon run from the pit wall run from his pit box over to pit wall right where Sebastian was doing donuts, and giving a round of applause. Very classy guy.
Class all around, and class is what Sebastian Bourdais has been this afternoon in Mexico City. So, it's a scene we've seen so many times. This is his 73rd Champ Car start, win number 31, just absolutely incredible. And Cameron Steele is standing by with our race winner, and you know, his winning percentage is just absolutely remarkable. It's 43% of his race starts have resulted in victory, and you know, you put that among the pantheon of the sports greats over the years. Of course, Juan Manuel Fangio in Formula 1, he had a 50% win average, but even Michael Schumacher, so dominant in Formula 1, was nowhere near this man. Cameron Steele is with our delighted race winner.
All right, Sebastian Bourdais, 5 seasons, 4 championships, 73 starts, 31 wins, a winning percentage, and he's congratulated by all of his team here. Newman Haas Lanigan, Sebastian, Another awesome performance, almost 43% winning percentage in your Champ Car career. It's got to be a great moment here for you.
It's unbelievable. I mean, I can never thank these guys enough for everything they've done to me. I was just crying like a baby in that and man, it was just nobody where to finish this off.
The emotion starting to come through. The restart, were you worried about power?
Yeah, because obviously he had like 3 times more power to pass than we did, and this car was just, the Magnus car was just too good today.
All right, a great performance. Congratulations, Sebastian.
Thank you.
All right, guys, Sebastian Bourdais, another great performance. Let's throw it back upstairs.
Yeah, 8 wins this season in 14 races for Sebastian Bourdais. Just incredible stuff. So look at the unofficial final point standings. A great crowd on hand here in Mexico City. Yet another stunning success for Sebastian Bourdais. Justin Wilson does hold on there for second place out of Robert Dormos and Will Power. So have a look at the final standings in the Roche France Rookie of the Year. Robert Dormos already had it tied up coming into this weekend. Graham Rahal holds on to second, and Pagenaud just by 1 point over Neil Jarley. Let's have a look at our schedule for next year. We'll start off in Long Beach and Houston, as we've done for the last couple of seasons. Well, apart from this year in Las Vegas, won't we? But Long Beach and Houston back to back to start off the season. Laguna's Seca, great to see that race back on the schedule. Then we go to Zolder and to Jerez later on in the season. Their second visit to Holland. That will be the Assen circuit there. That's a wonderful event as well. So it's been an exciting event here this afternoon, and my thanks to James Hinchcliffe, also Ryan Dial, as well as Cameron Steele, Bill Stevens and Michelle Beisler for their sterling work in the pit lane this year. The dedicated team has brought these races to you. Special thanks to everybody who's helped out this year, particularly Gary and Kathy Elkhammer, to our producer Sharon Fricker, our director Jack Sedlak. My name's Jeremy Shaw. Thank you all for joining us this season. I can hardly wait for the 2008 season to kick off at Long Beach next April. For me, Jeremy Shaw, it's goodbye from now.
You'll have yet another chance to look into the motor racing future this Monday, December the 10th, when we head to Hutton Park for round 10 of the Motors TV Karting Challenge at 7:30. Motors TV, the only place to see tomorrow's cars in action today.
Up the inside of Yilden.
Andy Anderson right in behind, he got a touch. Brook off into the tyre wall.
Big hit for Adam Brook.
That's done a lot of damage. He's rolling back, he got clipped on the way past. Oh, Inky Tulloch.
Oh,
unsighted at the tail of the field, and look at the damage to those 2 race cars. Adam Brook's car.
Well, horrible sight there, but back to your question, Jamie. With Adam rolling back onto the track, I mean, he just hit the wall at 140 kilometres an hour. He probably was stunned, had no idea where he was, and hence, no control of what he was doing.
Want to be the first to read about new cars? You can't afford to miss a weekly fix of Autocar magazine. With Autocar, you're the first with essential news, test drives, car gossip and the world-famous Autocar road test every week. And every word is written by car enthusiasts for car enthusiasts. Autocar, first for new cars. Don't miss getting your copy. It's out every Wednesday for just £2.30.
Grab your phone and join our party. Rachel's texting now. She can't wait to see who else is texting. Claire and Amanda are best mates. They love to text all the time. Text message the word mates to 80700. Thousands of singles are waiting to chat with you. Just text mates to 80700. Don't miss the fun. Join the party now. Text mates to 80700.
I live life to the full. I love action. In life, on the job, I'll never allow myself to look tired. So I take care of myself and of my skin.
Hydra Energetic from L'Oreal Men Expert. It fights the 5 signs of fatigue for a lasting, healthy look. L'Oreal Men Expert.
The future of your skin is in your hands. You're worth it.
Clever, those Cheerios. Your family loves every last tasty little O. And you know they're getting the good stuff from 4 whole grains. Cheerios. Smiles all round.
The new scent of adventure. Dunhill Pursuit.
There is something for everyone on the High Speed Television Network this Sunday, December the 9th from 9 p.m. It will be Ferrari magazine highlights. Then we will take a look back at all the best moments from this year's Dutch Supercar Challenge. Before we wrap up the evening with another edition of Race and Rally UK right here on Motors TV.